For a business to thrive, there needs to be a constant stream of new customers. This happens through strong lead generation. Did you know that lead generation is one of the most important tools of any marketing campaign? Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products and services to them. To get started today, contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results today.
Hey there, listen up, Sacramento. Ready to make this holiday season unforgettable? Well, we've got something that'll have you jingling all the way. Picture this, a brand new 2024 Kia Forte LXS for only $279 per month plus tax with no money down. No, I did not stutter. No money down. That's right. Zip, zero, nada. Elk Grove Kia is spreading the joy this Christmas, and we're making it easier than ever for you to drive home in style. So why wait? I will say it again. Head on down to Elk Grove Kia and drive home your new 2024 Kia Forte LXS today with absolutely no money down. Elk Grove Kia is your go-to destination for top-notch quality and unbeatable service. Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or go to elkgrovekia.com. $279 plus tax, 0 customer cash to signing. Eligible 10,000 250 days and 10 year process per mile over service security.
Elk Grove Kia.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you thought last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day, available in both lab-grown and natural minds.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet Arch Support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Oakland A's every weekend.
And it's swung a line to left center, base hit, and the A's have won it on a walk-off line drive, base hit to left center.
Sactown Sports. Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake.
Well, once again, we are Draperless. Feel better, Kyle Draper. Hopefully, he'll be back with us tomorrow. Tomorrow we should be out at the arena, but Drape's a little under the weather, so no Kyle Draper today. So me, Kevin Gleason, and Janaik Johnson. Everyone calls him Jay, and man, that's a great name you have. So I hope you don't mind me every so often dropping that. Janaik, right, is your name? It's an awesome name.
Janaik.
Okay.
Janaik.
Pardon me, I was saying it wrong.
That's all good, brother. Yeah. It's been happening all my life.
No, I shouldn't even have tried. I know no one likes to hear people on radio complain, so this isn't a complaint, but it's a fact. We have an office Christmas party going on now somewhere, and Jay and I are here, and that's fine, but we're just going to have our own party today with you on the radio, right?
Let me say this, Whitey, and this is partially my fault as our great team member, Angie Montoya, part of our stations here at Bonneville.
Yeah.
Has been there for many, many moons. Lovely. She just told me that she was going to the holiday party, and I was like, wait a minute, we have a holiday party?
You just found out.
I just literally found that out right now, man.
Yeah. Well, we'll have our own party today.
Thank you. Let's do it.
Yes.
If I knew that, I would have brought all the festivities that we needed. We could have popped some bottles. We could did it all.
I know. I don't have anything, but that's okay.
It's okay, sir.
So bring your holiday cheer. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Do you have your lights up, by the way, Jay? Do you do lights? You have all that? You have all that up?
You know, I do not. I have never put up lights outside of the house. That's what you're asking me, right?
Right.
Inside the tree and all that, of course, the daughter loves to do that. But outside, I'm not that type of person. I've never tried it.
What do you mean you're not that type of person?
Meaning I'm not the person to go overboard when it comes to Christmas. Like, I love the holidays. I'm not the Grinch, right? Which is actually my favorite cartoon, by the way, when it comes to that. But I'm just not a big go all out outside type of atmosphere for my house. And
you don't feel the need to show everyone else. Hey,
look, the spirit takes over me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy. I love everyone. Feliz Navidad, all that good stuff to everybody.
You light yourself up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, with holiday joy.
Absolutely. Neon.
Yeah.
Neon
we
style.
have a number of houses this year. It seems like more than usual. I don't know whether it is with lights, and I like that. But I, before the 49er game, had to get lights up on the house, and I get them up there, and I'm fighting the clock because I don't want to miss the 49er game.
Absolutely.
So I get everything up. It's like, okay, I think we're good. And when I put the strings up, I just checked them. Like, yeah, that string, the lights are on. Okay, we're good. And it goes like, we have not a huge house or anything, but it's ranch style, so it's flat all the way across.
Nah, you can say what you have now, brother. No, it's no need to brag. It's okay.
But we don't have.
I'm just playing. I'm playing.
We do not. So the roof line straight across, so it's a nice like the gutter line, if you will, the eaves. Then it comes up on the roof. So it's like, all right, great. And then when it got dark that night, I watched the Chiefs finish up with the Bills and jump outside. Let's see, is it working? Everything was on except for half of one string, which always means there's a bulb out. And it's like, it's, one of those impossible things. So the next day I had to take the last string out and then take the first string out, put the last string in with the first string. Anyway, I think we got it going here.
Now, see, Whitey, this is why I'm telling you, I'm not one of those guys.
I understand.
Because that's too much.
I know.
Not for you, because you like to do those things. And you've spoken over the last couple of weeks. I've heard you, mention a few times that you and your neighbor, you guys have a friendly Skip. That's right. My boy Skip,
just killing me in the Christmas lighting competition.
But
he has family do it.
You can't win every year.
He has family do it for him, and I don't think that should count.
Oh, he's cheating the system.
Exactly.
Oh, Skip. Now wait a minute. Now we're gonna have to bring Skip on for him to defend himself sooner or later. So wait a minute. He's no longer participating in the application of putting these lights up.
He may be participating in the sense that he goes, "Yeah, I want this one here and that one there."
He's coaching.
Let me know when you're done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's the Mike Brown of the Christmas light season. Okay, I got you. All right.
Yeah. See, then there's also the whole thing about getting up on the roof. And my wife,
you do all of that?
You can't go on the roof. I said, I go on the roof. And she says, take your phone. And I said, what? If I fall off the roof, my phone's it's just not going to help. She said, well, at least you could call me if you're on the ground. So anyway.
You don't hear me screaming.
Yeah. Help! I don't need a phone for that. But it all worked out. Hopefully.
Real fast.
Yeah.
Do you put the decorations on? Meaning, like you put the snowman, the nativity scene.
Not really.
You just the lights.
Yeah, but the thing with me is I put lights and I can't stop. It's like, I could put a few more lights there. And with LED lights now, you can string a whole bunch together.
Gotcha.
Way back when we bought the house, it came with the warning. This was before all the LED lights, and it would say never put more than 3 strings together. And I was like, come on, what harm could that do? And I almost burned down our house.
It happens.
Yeah.
Look, you win some, you lose some, you learn. That's part of the situation.
But now with the LEDs, you can always I could add another string and put it over these, the camellias or whatever. So it's hard for me to stop. I'm just glad I got them up. And
now you know what you have to do. You have to take
a
a picture, and you got to show us tomorrow.
All right. Well, I got to put more lights up before I take a picture.
Oh, okay. All right. It's not ready yet.
Yeah.
It's not presentable.
We don't even have the tree up yet. So you got your tree up and everything?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well done. Well played.
Well,
you were out of town.
My daughter has a tree. I should say she put the tree.
Yeah.
No, I put the tree. I assembled the tree because we went fake the last couple of years.
Oh, that's the way to go.
Yeah, I'm over all the pines on the floor and all. I love the smell. At this point we can put the scratch and sniff smell on it if we have to.
Yeah.
Right? But no, we've the last 3 or 4 years we've went fake. And so artificial, I should say. And so I put the tree together, and then my daughter, she does all the decorating.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm good with that.
That's the way to go, because otherwise, and I know some people like to go cut their own tree down.
Hey,
but now you go in the closet or whatever, and you got it there, and you just kind of shake it a little bit, right? And you put it up, and somehow the light's already on. Boom!
Snap.
That's the way to go.
I'm with you, brother.
Let's go take the truck out to the woods and cut down the tree.
When's the last time you've purchased a real tree?
I don't know, like 30 years, something like that.
30?
It's been
3-0?
long. Yeah.
Oh, so you were in on it early. You were.
Time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably say like the last 4 or 5 years.
There is something about the smell, but
spray it. You get some. You get some pine spray.
There you go.
Straight from the car wash.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of smells, how much of the Kings did you watch last night?
Live 0.
Yeah, it was. I don't blame you, and obviously you probably caught up, and we had the Warriors on at the same time. I know that the Kings now they have this habit of getting blown out when they lose, and Frankie broke down some of the numbers today when he was in with Styles and Watkins, and the Kings in back-to-back, second game of the back-to-back, they've been terrible. But and maybe it's because, as we talk here, I'm full of holiday cheer. My Kings souvenir fun cup is still half full, even though they lost last night. Because what are they now? They're 13-9. And you've been here a long time. I know that after last year, every time they lose a game, they might not win a championship this year. But there were years where 13-9 at this point, we would be having a party, right?
Celebration.
Yes.
Yeah. Agreed. I think so I didn't watch the game at all live because I'm still trying to catch up from the trip over the last 4 days.
Going to LA, sure.
Well, not time change, but I would imagine for you, right? I like how you put that. But a lot of times I'll sit down and kind of partake after when the house is quiet, the wife is asleep, my daughter's asleep. Mm-hmm. So that's what I did last night. And by the time I got to halftime, I said, the party's over with. It's all over, and you saw with the sitting of the Clippers sitting their stars and not even playing fourth quarter a lot, and the Kings, it was over at halftime, and you could tell that it was the Clippers' day. Kawhi was just acting a pure nut last night, even though Paul George, didn't finish the game and he was injured. And they say he could have came back, but no need.
Right.
Whitey, there was no need when you're slapping people across the mouth every single time you go up and down the court. The claw was in full effect last night.
Yeah, didn't look good, obviously.
No.
It's a tough loss. But tomorrow night, tips off for the Kings, as you may know, a 6-game homestand for the holidays. You got the Thunder coming in, the Jazz, the Wizards. The Wizards stink. You also got then the Celtics and the Suns and the Timberwolves. So you got a nice little home stretch here. So, again, I know it looked bad last night, but it's the holiday season. The Kings have a winning record, and I think it's all good right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, at this point, if you would say you're 22 in, and I've heard many coaches, analysts, reporters, hosts, anyone who has an opinion take the season in increments. Right. Some take it in 5-game increments. Some take it in 10-game increments. And I think if you really look at it, 22 is an even number, but it's not a 5 or 10 game increment. But I think if you said through 22 games, would you take the 13-9? I would imagine the Kings would take it. I'm pretty sure they feel like they've let a couple of games slip away.
Right.
I think in the way that we've seen the 13 wins versus the 9 losses, we probably would have guessed different. We probably would have said not 3 games in New Orleans, not the back-to-back against the Rockets, but there are some games where I honestly thought the Kings were going to take the loss, and they came out and got the win. Minnesota comes to mind,
right.
And so 13-9 all in all through 22, I'm loving it.
Yeah. Plus, as we say, we talk about Christmas. It's not Christmas yet. So a lot of this part of the season for every team is you are still figuring out exactly what you have. And I know the Kings last year did so well that there's a lot of continuity, but let's face it, they're still figuring some things out. And that's contributing to the fact that they've been blown out in some games. I think, Jay, that one of the things the Kings were counting on having this year was added depth. They made some moves in the offseason to improve the depth. That still may work out, pardon me. But to this point, like Duarte, he hasn't been what they hoped. Even Sasha's been up and down. The depth that they were counting on this year, so far, it's early, but so far, it hasn't really been there, and that's one of the reasons they've been getting blown out in the second game of back-to-backs.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see how Mike Brown and the coaching staff has kind of maneuvered that depth, where I felt that there's some games that's come to my mind. It's like, man, they should have played a little more.
Don't trust the bench.
Yes, that's a great word, trust. Because it really matters. I don't think he really trusts some of those guys, let alone maybe he might only trust 2 or 3 of those guys to kind of pencil in and do what they're supposed to do, or what the team envisions that, those certain players to do. But it's interesting, Whitey, because I'm like, man, Davion has completely fell out of the rotation to the point where if you would have told me that, I was, I can't see it. He plays too good of defense for what this team is looking and searching for. Keon Ellis, excuse me, not Keon Ellis, but Kessler Edwards. It's one of those things where he's playing a few minutes and and playing parts of the game where it's like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that.
It's like Mike Brown's still looking for a little something, but he's not sure where he's going to find it or who he's going to get it from.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree, man. I really like the word trust, though. I mean, look, I'm not trying to say like trust is the biggest word in the dictionary, but that's a great adjective to describe what's going on.
Yeah. Well, you know how it is, and you played baseball, and I know you're a very good player, but you may have played for a manager here or there who didn't quite trust you or have total faith in you. And if that's the case, maybe, you're not going to play.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
100%. I've been there.
Yeah. And they don't tell you that, but you can tell sometimes when it's the case. And Mike Brown is dealing with that right now with some of the guys on this team.
Yeah. But I think he's going to have to, you're either going to have to step on the gas pedal or you're going to have to come off and let the cruise control go, and it's kind of one of those things with a few of those players. And I think Davion's one of those guys. I believe, they have to find that big. And I like the JaVale McGee mix, the Trey Lyles mix, the Alex Lynn mix. I like that. But when the going gets tough, I'm not saying one has to be the 7th or 8th or 9th guy, but there's still kind of a gumbo pot full of, where it's like, and Alex Lynn's been hurt, of course, and Trey Lyles has been hurt quite a bit, where one day Trey comes in and one day JaVale comes in and then one day we'll see Alex come in. And I understand matchups dictate those things, but sometimes you got to have that continuity as well.
Yeah, that's a great question too. Is it a matter of you got to find your rotation, or if you mix and match depending on matchups, does that work? We'll come right back with that. Also, why the Kings get blown out so often, a couple of theories. And we haven't even started talking about Draymond yet. We'll do that when we come right back here. It's a drive, guys. Jay and Whitey today. Kyle Draper still recuperating. Thanks for being with us. Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings. Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides 24/7 compassionate support and connection to trained counselors. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, just call, text, or chat 988.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
So why do the Kings get blown out so often? What's going on with Draymond? What's the league going to do about Draymond? We'll get to that, but it's a holiday season. We're just talking about Christmas decorations on the chat here. YouTube chat, CK916 says, I go all out for Halloween too. Animatronics and such. Came home one night. This 2-year-old and his dad said they come every evening to see my house. Made me realize how much others appreciate it. How about that, Jay? You put the lights up and some people come around just to see what you're putting out there every year. That's not your cup of tea, huh?
Well, I'm more of the watcher.
Yeah.
Than the user.
Yeah.
When I was young, man, my mother was one of those type of parents. Mm-hmm. She would take me around and show me the Christmas lights. And I like that. I like to watch them. I like the creation. You're an artist when you put up those type of lights, especially as you're talking about, the color variations, how people see certain things, different setups. Like I said, some people like the Rudolph and the snowman. Some people like the nativity scene.
Right.
Some
Good
people,
point.
like a lot of homes in my neighborhood at the moment, I'm starting to see like the little flashing, kind of, I guess, strobe light, rotating lights. Mm-hmm. You put them in the ground and they rotate and strobe throughout your household. And I've even seen them, they're moving over to 2-3 houses next to them. So I'm like, okay, everybody must be all right letting that strobe light, come across the house. And so I like to view them. I'm just not the person to go up on the roof to be putting up no lights.
Some of it's pretty high tech. When we were living in Pacifica a few years ago before we came back, there was one house where you'd go there and then there was like you turned your radio to a certain signal and then it would sync up. The audio would sync up with the flashing lights. Yeah.
Like the old school driving, movie drive.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. Have you ever been to, I think it's in Orangevale, Dovewood Court. Have you ever heard of that?
I have not.
Okay. I haven't been there in a few years, but Dovewood Court used to be one of those places where everybody on the street is a court.
Gotcha.
Everybody just does lots of lights. And then, they have some sort of canister at the end of the street. And everyone, if you come by, they ask you to bring food for people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I don't know if they still do that though, but those
I like that type of stuff. Like going to be a spectator, I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as being a player in the game,
right?
No, I'm out, coach.
Yeah, you need spectators and you need players.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'll pay my money to spectate. I don't want to pay my money to play.
The Kings were kind of spectators last night. I think there's a lot of angst today about they need to play hard. Mike Brown said we need to compete. I think sometimes when you're not making shots as they did last night, and you're not a good defensive team, I think sometimes, Jay, it looks like you're not competing when really you're just getting your brains beat in.
Yeah, that's a great point. I do believe the Kings they lost to a better team last night, a team that played better than them. And quite frankly, James Harden had 15 points and Russ had 8, so it wasn't like they got outplayed by the stars, but Norman Powell played very well.
Right.
Terrence Mann played very well. And, of course, Kawhi did what Kawhi does. One thing I'll say about the Clippers, and this doesn't take away from what they've done to the Kings, but Ty Lue's starting to figure something out with the Clippers. And I'm not exactly sure how far it's going to take them because I do believe health is going to play a big part with the Clippers. But 5 in a row, they were on a back-to-back, so I don't want to hear that back-to-back stuff.
Right.
If Drapes was here, you might slide to the back-to-back. No excuses on the back-to-back thing.
You
Clippers
should have an
on the
advantage
back-to-back.
on that because they're older than you.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And so I think that goes back to the part of what we're talking about, Whitey, where Ty Lue trusts his bench a little more. We've seen Daniel Tice, however you want to say his name, and Terrence Mann, even though he started, but you see the Russell Westbrook, the Norman Powells, the Zubats, like they have a pretty decent roster, probably better than decent, I should say, a pretty good roster. And you see Ty Lue starting to trust some of those guys, and it just didn't work out for the Kings last night. Clippers, they just ran into a better Clippers team.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then when you've got a team that's arguably more talented, I think we agree they are and they were last night. But, when a game starts, you never want to go, oh, they're better than us. But if you're the Kings, you're going to have a chance to win a game like that. Let's face it, you need your best player to play really well. And De'Aaron Fox did not play well last night. He played poorly. It happens.
Yes.
I'm not saying here's why they lost, get rid of him. But I'm saying you look at that game. Your best player played very poorly last night. They didn't make threes. The Clippers, as you said, are really figuring some things out, playing better. Those things are all part of the recipe for a bad loss. It happens.
Yeah, it does. And I don't think we need to go into panic mode. And this is something Drapes was saying, and even you were talking about it, even though most would love to see a back-to-back win. That means the team is taking the necessary step to become one of the better teams in the league. I truly believe they are a top 5, 6 seed in the Western Conference. They should be. But within that, even the greatest teams take losses and they get blown out. You see what happened? You see it all the time, right? And so last night was one of those things where you can blame it on what you want to blame it on. You can go to the Kevin Huerter didn't play well. You can go on a back-to-back. You can play De'Aaron and Domas didn't have really their best games. But for me, the Clippers are just better last night, man. Mm-hmm. I just really believe right now they're playing better than what the Kings are playing, and the Kings found that out up close and personal.
Yeah, and I think this homestand, these 6 games, are going to go long ways towards telling us how good this team is. As I said, as you probably know, OKC, Utah, Washington, Boston, Phoenix, and Minnesota. But let's face it, the Kings are not a good defensive team. We know that. And when you're really not very good defensively, you're prone to those up and down nights. Some nights you're just going to get the doors blown off because you can't get stops. That's where I think they need to improve this year. If they're going to be a really good team, if they're going to approach the level that they reached last year or even improve on that, At some point, they have to get better defensively. I know there's a lot of focus on what trades they're going to make, and maybe you make a trade that brings in a better defender. Maybe you do it that way. But to me, that's really the only path towards this Kings team being really better. They have to get better defensively. I don't know how they do it, but I think that's one of the reasons why they're so up and down.
Yeah, I think you make a great point there, Whitey. I would say this, and I don't mean to jump in front of the conversation of what you're going down is because defense is something this team is. We're going to talk about that all season, right?
Yep.
We know that's a prime focus for the Kings. We know the coaching staff, including Mike Brown, is making a very asserted effort to make sure that this team is better defensively because they believe they have all the right ingredients on the offensive side.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to propose this to you, and I'll propose this to the listeners, 916-339-1140. At what point in time, and I'm not saying we're there yet because we're 22 games in, we're just a quarter. At what point in time do we have to say this team is not going to be good? They'll be average or below average on the defensive side, and understand these type of nights are going to happen a little more than regularly if they were playing better defense. And the second part of that becomes knowing that when do we have to turn on the switch of, you know what, look, this team is based around offense. And as much as we know we want to play defense, we know we have to continue to work at it. But our identity is to be the best on offense and be fast and be quick and be clutch and, and all these other different adjectives we want to say. Sooner or later, we're going to have to come to realization and the grips. This team not going to be that good defensively. Right. Now, I'm hoping it changes, but I'm also looking at it as a realist. One thing I'm not going to do is come on air and lie about it. This team may not be good defensively.
Well, that's the whole keto to this team. And by the way, Beamer on the chat is coming down the road a little bit. Whitey says they are better on defense. He says, you guys got the deflection and verticality stats? Oh, we got them somewhere. I don't know. I know Beamer, they're better, but they need to be better than they are right now. I know you can look at some of the numbers we talked yesterday about defensive rebounding percentage. They need to improve from where they are now. You're right. They're better than they were last year. But to me, Jay, that's the whole thing about this team. Right now, to me, the Kings are, not to overstate it, but I think they're at a crossroads. Like, okay, we got some things we know we do well. We're trying to get better defensively. How do we get there? Is it a matter of we will get better? We continue to be patient with this group, or are we going to have to go out and bring somebody in? Because that's what it's all about. This team only gets better if they get better defensively. So how does Monty decide to go about that?
Yeah, well, that's the $1 million question. Know, and that's why I said I don't want to jump ahead, halfway through the season because there's still time for the Kings and this roster the way it's assembled to do what they need to do. But I'm also being a realist. This team may not be good defensively for all 82 games. Mm-hmm. And it may be a crutch when we come to this, come to 2:00 and you and Drapes talk about, here we go again. Defense didn't do it. Defense didn't stand up last night. Team this took advantage of the Kings defensively. Mm-hmm. And we're hearing that. We've heard that over the last season and a quarter. And that's okay. Again, it can all be changed. Personnel versus just getting better the way they're assembled. But I'm also looking at it as a standpoint of let's not continue to beat the dead horse if we know this team is deficient defensively. So with that being said, they're going to have nights where the Clippers come in or not come in, but the Clippers
go in there,
go here and you're going to get blown out by 20, and you're going to lose to the Clippers and you're going to lose to the Suns. You're going to lose to good teams like that who you come to, you come to my house and we know, as we've heard on this station quite a bit, teams are getting up for the Kings now. It's a matchup now. They're playing on national television now. So now when you come to the crypto, you're going to get clothesline pretty much.
Right. Well, and that's another thing that's a problem for a team like the Kings when you have a lead, which they didn't have last night, so it doesn't apply last night. But when the Kings have a lead on another team, that other team knows that these guys aren't great defensively. Hang in there because we will get our shot. But it's interesting here. This is the whole thing with the Kings. Do they then decide, you know what? All right, we're going to work on our defense, but we are an offensive-minded team. That's who we are. That's who we were last year. Or do they have to come to terms with what Mike Brown is trying to get them to do, which basically I think is nothing short of changing their identity. Last year, we were the top offense in the league. That's great. but we have to be a more physical defensive team to get where we're going to get to. Maybe that's not even possible with this roster.
Well, I think you said something that just made me think about something, and I'm glad you said it. The identity of what the Kings do, if I propose that question to you right now, you would say what?
It's a team that can shoot, that is trying to get a lot better defensively.
Okay. So if that's your identity,
yeah,
nothing's wrong with trying to continue to work at it.
Right.
But you have to do what we know you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And my problem with the Kings this year so far, it's only 22 games.
Yeah.
I believe with the fact that they're trying to change their identity in certain capacities on the defensive side will then take away what we're doing offensively. Now, some of those players have said that it's becoming more difficult to do that. And I said yesterday, no, it's not. It's you either good at defense or you're not, or you're trying to be. No one expects you to be perfect. But I'll say this. If you're losing your identity on the offensive side, we're going to have a problem. Because now
you have no foundation.
Exactly. And then we're getting back to what we've seen the Kings over the last 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
What's the identity? Mm-hmm. When Dave Yeager was here, what was the identity? When Luke Walton was here, what was the identity? So that's the problem. Do what you do good and keep it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then try to be better on what you're deficient in. And I think that's the way the Kings, to me, I'm not in the building. I don't see it. I only get what I can get informational wise, but I truly believe they're teetering on the borderline of losing their identity to try to be something that they may never be.
Yeah, I agree. I think right now, all things considered, they're in pretty good shape, but there's
absolutely
some big questions that they have to answer here in the next few weeks. Coming up, we'll take a look at what kind of package the Kings could put together if they wanted to make a move. And we got to get to Draymond Green and what the league should do about Draymond. And what is he at this point? Does Draymond Green even know what he is doing? That and more next year. Drive Guys, Jay, Whitey, Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center, and mostly sunny skies this afternoon. Temperatures will be warming into the lower 60s as we head through the day. Expect to have mainly clear skies as we head into the evening hours with increasing clouds and cool temperatures. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let us fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $97. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Subcontractors, grow your business with more leads and leverage your marketing costs to receive over 10 times the value in advertising. Subcontractors United is offering 40 home services contractors to join our advertising co-op. For under $2,100 a month, you'll share in over $83,000 a month in advertising. That's $1 million a year in advertising for under $2,100 a month. There's only 3 subcontractors per category, not 3,000. So lead potential is unlimited. Google Subcontractors United for more information.
Christmas is in the air at Hanley's Kia. The season of giving back is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg, an EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride, at Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia, the season of giving back today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136-138.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
This holiday season, Good Guys Heating and Cooling is turning up the warmth and spreading joy with our Toys for Tune-Ups promotion. Schedule your tune-up or troubleshooting appointment, and with a donation of a new unwrapped toy at the time of your service, we'll waive the fee. It's our way of giving back and making a difference in the lives of local children who might not have the Christmas that every child deserves. All toys will benefit Children's Hope, a wonderful local foster charity right here in Sacramento. Call Good Guys Heating and Cooling at 530-GOOD-AIR to schedule your appointment, or book online at goodguysheatingcooling.com. Happy holidays from the Good Guys family. License number 1057618.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
And it happens because we love basketball. Team loses big again. Fans start to get a little uncomfortable. Everything's looking good for the Kings right now, but they have shown this propensity for losing by a lot. They get blown out a lot. When they do lose, they tend to lose by a lot. So we're trying to figure out where this all is, why this is happening, where they go from here. What's the identity of this team right now? On the YouTube chat, we have this from, again, Beamer. Thank you, Beamer has been weighing in with a lot of great points today. The identity this year is a jump shooting 3-ball team with pace, team deflections, and team rebounding. What do you think of that, Jay? You buying that? The identity of the
not
Kings?
yet. Not yet.
Where does that come up short?
Yeah. Repeat that one more time.
Jump shooting 3-ball team with pace, team deflections, and team rebounding. Tell you one thing, sometimes I play with pace and sometimes I really don't.
Yeah, the pace is I would like to see last year's pace a little more. And I think that's what some of the players have kind of spoken about, with more emphasis on the defensive side. The pace hasn't always been, as I said, this, it hasn't always been on cruise control. Cruise control, you set the mileage, it goes that, plus or minus 1 to what you set it on. Now you hit a corner, it's going to come down a little bit. You hit a straightaway, it goes a little faster. But I think with the Kings, it's, as you said, it's been everywhere. It's kind of been slow versus fast versus, tonight they're jump shooting versus tonight they're going to the cup. So I kind of disagree with that. I also think the emphasis on the defensive, on the glass, it was a huge deficit last year. Like, that was one of the detractions of what the Kings were. And we saw it emphasized in the playoffs when it came to Kayvon Looney, or AKA Will Chamberlain. It was
he got benched last night, by the
know,
way.
Man.
Will Chamberlain got benched.
I know, man.
Yeah.
He's not putting up 55 and 30 no more, but and he's not playing, the Kings, I guess.
Right.
But I think last year that was kind of the bad taste in a lot of people's mouths when it came to the Kings was defensively. And so that is something that I think the Kings have definitely, and you can see even with their guards coming. Kevin, I believe, and I have to check this, you see it more even with the guards crashing the boards a little more this year compared to last year, which is, again, slows down the pace.
Mm-hmm.
And so I disagree with that. I mean, he's off and on with some of the points. I think they are a deflecting team. I think the pace lacks a little bit, not as far as just fast, but I just don't know what they're doing.
I think those are reasonable goals. They can be that team. I don't know if night to night they are. Rebounding last night, by the way, Clippers out rebounded the Kings overall 49-38, but some of that's just because the Kings didn't shoot the ball well. So more rebounds available for the Clips. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Tin has been hanging on. Tin, you're on with Jay and Whitey. What's up?
I think the Kings, by the All-Star break, the Kings need to have a winning record, or then it's time to panic.
Really? Panic? You mean like panic, start getting rid of your core people? Panic?
Well, I'm saying, like, I'm going to set expectations, like they have a short-term goal, and we all know the long-term goal, which is to win the Larry O'Brien.
All right. Thank you, Tin. It's hard to imagine them having a losing record. In the West, who knows, because it's so competitive. But I mean, having a losing record at the break, I don't know, Jay, that's possible. I wasn't even on my radar. I wasn't even thinking that.
No. I mean, and if they were, they're not going to understand the word panic.
Yeah.
The people around here would panic. I think the Kings are, again, I think they're a top 6 team for sure in the West. If they don't make the top 6, I believe a lot of people around here is going to panic. Even if they finish 7th or 8th, they have to play in.
People would be going nuts around here, huh?
Yeah, especially coming off the 3rd seed last year. But me, for one, this sounds bad. I thought the Kings overachieved last year. I expected the Kings to be 5 or 6 this year. I expected the Kings to kind of be where they're at right now, especially with the league changing. James Harden coming over. The Suns adding more pieces. We don't know what's going on with Minnesota. All of a sudden, they feel good. They're running. OKC's an up and coming team. I thought the Rockets would be pretty good. Not this good, though. I thought they'd be a tough out just because I said yesterday. They're almost ignorant to the point of how they play. They're going to come at you. Athleticism, it's going to be a tough night. You catch them, as we seen the Kings on the back-to-back. It was problems. And so I thought the Kings overachieved a little bit last year. I thought they caught some people by surprise. As we see this year, people are getting up for them. There's national games. There's more to it. There's expectations. The league around has changed. I figured they'd be 5-6. That's about where they're probably going to be. Mm-hmm. No need to panic. And shouts out to Tin Whitey for saying the Larry O'Brien. Man, if you thought the Kings was winning the championship this year, then kudos to you, because you reaching. And that's just realistic.
Yeah. It's a great point. And I think a big part of that is, let's be honest, did the Kings overachieve last year? Maybe, we don't know. But one of the reasons they're where they are right now relative to the rest of the conferences, of course, in the offseason, everybody gets better. The Kings were excellent last year. Everybody gets better, or they try to. The things the Kings did in the offseason to try to improve, so far they haven't really taken root. Doesn't mean that they failed. I know a lot of fans thought they'll replace Barnes. Well, they decided to bring him back. They need Keegan to play better, and he's shown flashes. It's not there yet. They bring in Sasha. He really hadn't found his stride yet. So the things the Kings did to get better, they're not really benefiting from those things yet. Another reason they've been kind of inconsistent. Eddie joins us here, Sactown Sports. Hello, Eddie. What's up?
Hey, guys. Love the work you do. So I'm thinking about this, right? So 5 of the core players of the Kings, and by the way, I agree with you. They overachieved last year if they don't make it to the playoffs this year, right? Mm-hmm. But 5 of the core players, like Sasha now is getting playing time. His defense is suspect. I love his threes, but he's not quick enough. Let's call it spade a spade, right? Trey Lyles, I love his heart. He's gutsy. He'll go against any big and choke him out, right? But he's not great on D. If De'Aaron Fox is the best defensive player and offensive player, and he has a bad night, is Herter stepping up on D? No, he's not great on D, right? So who else is stepping up on D? Harrison Barnes is come and go. He's not a great defensive player, right? So Sabonis, how many times have we seen Sabonis And we love Sabonis just give up on defensive plays, right? And just put his head down or complain. And he doesn't have the best verticals, right? So you got all these things going on. Plus, they're trying to find how great they could be defensively this year. But now I think the coaching staff and Jordy and Mike, they're playing with these rotations, right? Because Keegan's been hurt. Alex Len hasn't really played this year. He's a great defensive player. He might need some more playing time. JaVale McGee, he might be great for 15, 18 minutes and bring that championship-level competitive nature, right? I wish Sabonis had his heart on defense and his ups on defense, but it's just not there, right? So they're playing with the rotations, as we can see. They're hanging in there. They're doing well. But when you think about it, the core players we love for the Kings in offense, compared to other teams, aren't really great defensive players. Who sticks out? De'Aaron Fox. Keon Ellis has made a big name for himself this year. We love his length. But Davion Mitchell is nowhere to be found because Keon is taking over his time. But even Davion's a great defensive player. But he's sort of like suspect when he's out there on the court because he's come and go with his offense, right? So they're trying to find the – and I think all of this stuff is trying to work itself out right now.
Thank you, Eddie.
I agree with a lot of those points.
Yeah, thank you. One thing I'll just say about Sabonis, and you said something about, I think you questioned his heart there. Maybe you didn't mean to, but Sabonis plays really hard on defense. He's not the most gifted defender.
No.
But he's a guy you can't question his effort. But as far as other things you said, yeah, I mean, Davion's a great point. Jay and I were talking about that. Jay brought him up. Remember, that's another guy. Off season, we thought, hey, this is a guy who's worked on his jump shot. He's going to be on the floor a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He can defend, and it's just not working. And another key to this whole thing, as far as last night goes, Jay mentioned it. I think it's Beamer again on the chat points out that was a really good team the Kings played last night.
Yep.
And when all is said and done, we may look back on that and go, wow, the Clippers were better than we realized. We knew they had like good players. Well, that's a good team this year.
Yeah, and I made the point, and Eddie kind of spoke to in depth of what I was saying, Whitey, is this. I said Ty Lue was starting to figure some things out, which is rotational, what player can do what at what point in time, and how to mesh these guys together. And the one thing the Kings have yet to do is just what Eddie is saying, and he said it in depth, is there's a lot of new pieces, not so much as person, but what they're asked to do. And they haven't figured all of that out yet.
Right.
While you and let me say this, Kings fans, the Kings aren't the only ones.
Right. It's not that unusual this time of year.
They're not. So the Clippers in the beginning, first 15 so games, people were questioning them to the point that they went out and got James Harden. So the Kings aren't alone in that.
Right.
It's just sometimes you go against the Clippers and you're gonna get tap danced on. Why it happens?
Yes. So where do the Kings go from here? And we'll get back to your calls as well when we come right back. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
This time of year, big box tool stores start to sell a whole bunch of not tools, from dancing Santas to plastic trees. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we'd rather sell you a 4-horsepower chainsaw fitted with a full chisel chain to cut down your own tree. And we have wood chippers come January, because mulch. We're cutting prices on your favorite brands this holiday season. Save on Milwaukee, Ingersoll Rand, and Metaltech in-store or at northerntool.com.
Dell's holiday event is one of their biggest sales of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
I always approach the holidays with a sense of excitement and a time to be with family. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa for Naturewood Home Furnishings. For me, the best times were when there were 3 generations all celebrating together. Today, we're the grandparents and the holiday spotlight shines on my grandson. And I hope he'll remember holidays the way his papa does. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create your own kind of holiday memories during their holiday home sale. Unique gifts found only at Naturewood like hall trees, curios, chairside tables, and more are available at savings of 20% off. During Naturewood's holiday home sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now. The memories you make with your family will live with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
It's the season of performance event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone for the life of your garden. The 49ers keep on winning this holiday season, sporting a 5-game win streak since the bye week. San Francisco took care of Seattle in Week 14, 28-16. Quarterback Brock Purdy had a career high in passing yards last Sunday, throwing for 368 yards. The Red and Gold are now the first team in the NFL to clinch a playoff spot this season, currently holding the number 1 seed in the NFL.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, EB Stone has gathered invaluable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with EB Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. EB Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive both indoors and outdoors. Trust EB Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled with joy and flourishing greenery. Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet Arch Support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
At Jim Boy's Tacos, you get a ho lot of flavor for under $10. Our classic #2 combo meal spreads cheer with a farm-dusted ground beef taco, scratch-made bean and cheese burrito, and a soft drink. So jingle on down to Jim Boy's or order online at participating locations.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
The San Francisco 49ers have owned the NFC West this season, and they look to take out their division rival Arizona on Sunday.
It's an end around to Deebo Samuel coming right, turns the corner, and goes into the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
The 49ers and Cardinals Sunday at 1 from Arizona on your home for 49ers football, Sactown Sports. Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Before we get back to the Kings and get back to the phones, I wanted to mention something real quick. Because this really, to me, this is just so wrong. And I wanted to see, Jay, what you thought, dear listener, what you thought Ben Roethlisberger, now he's a commentator. I get that. I don't know if he has a podcast or what, but
yeah, he's got a podcast.
Okay, thank you. So I know
it's like 4th and 1 with Ben, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
Or maybe that's Cam's. It's one of them, yeah.
I know he's supposed to say things, maybe some things that are not popular. I get that as part of his, gig. But he's talking about the Steelers and how bad the offense is now. And obviously, yeah, the offense is terrible. This could be Coach Tomlin's last year. He's up for an extension. I hope he gets it. I like Coach Tomlin. But Ben Roethlisberger is asked about what's the problem. He says, it's bad coaching. And to me, if you're a quarterback on a team and you win a Super Bowl, I don't know, to me, and the head coach, his job is in jeopardy. To me, that's just wrong to say that. Just, am I wrong?
No.
There's different ways you could couch it maybe, or you say this particular coach, whatever. But when you win a Super Bowl with that coach and he may not keep his job and you're going to say, bad coaching, that's despicable to me.
Yeah, I also saw what you saw, and he also spoke about like having no leadership in the locker room. And, it's tough because Ben's last few years for Pittsburgh, we could almost say the same thing. Ben's off the field situations, a lot of people probably would point to that as being.
And the organization stood by him.
They did.
Yeah.
They absolutely did.
Whether they should have, I don't know, but they did.
They did. And so it is I guess I'm looking at the source of who's saying it.
Yeah, I get that.
It's kind of one of those things where you calling a penny's calling a penny. But hey, listen, Mike Tomlin has more than shown and proved he is not only a good coach, but a great coach in this league, making the playoffs every single year, winning a Super Bowl. The things that he's accomplished over in Pittsburgh are amazing. And every other team probably in the league, if there had a opening position, would definitely be talking to Mike Tomlin, I would imagine.
Yeah, except as crazy as it is right now, if I have an opening, it's like, Coach Tomlin, talk to you 2 days from now, because tomorrow I got to talk to Coach Belichick.
Yes.
Because he could be available.
He could be, yes. Let me get back to you.
Yeah, we'll be in touch. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We're just picking through the wreckage of that Kings loss last night. Hey, bad loss to a really good team. Where are the Kings right now? Let's talk to TC. He's been hanging on. TC, thanks for hanging. You're on with the Drive Guys. What's up?
Man, what's going on, Whitey? What's going on, JJ?
TC, what do you got for us?
Man, I'm just tapping in. Look, so I got a few points. I got a trade. As far as the trade, everybody is on the table, minus Fox, Sabonis, Herder, and Monk. Everybody should be on the table. And I think when we start with a trade package, we shouldn't be trying to penny pinch when it comes to. We should be like, we got Harrison, we got Herder, we got Mitchell, and we got some picks. If we're ready to try to go get a guy, we don't need to be trying to penny pinch when it comes to trade, in my opinion. As far as the offense struggle and everything going on, I'm with you, Jay. Like, as far as the identity, we need to keep our offensive identity. And also, Mike and the coaching staff need to work on stop living and dying by the three-pointers. I know we broke a record the other night. What the heck with all that, bro? When the threes ain't falling, start doing like backdoor cuts, get to the paint, making people foul you, and do all this, bro. Because this whole same shooting team, and we just shooting threes like last night. We're like, if the threes aren't falling, then we lost the game already, and we're looking to play the next game. That's not the way to go about it. Mike Brown talks about paint touching and spray out for the spray. Well, no, Mike. Once we get in the paint, shoot the ball. I'm seeing too many guys get in the paint, get under the rim, run under the rim just to make a crazy pass to a three-point shooter. That's not adding up, in my opinion. It's not adding up, man.
Thank you, TC. Appreciate the passion. I think one thing, if you have the ability to do it, and you're playing the Kings, we saw it from the Pelicans a week ago Monday. If you can shut down Fox or slow him down, then the Kings have a harder time getting anything going. And last night, I'll give the Clippers some credit, and I think De'Aaron just didn't have a very good game, but he was 5 for 16. He had 4 turnovers very early. It was like 11 to 10, very sloppy pass. He didn't play well, and when he's not playing well, the Kings offensively, they really struggle. But to TC's point about a potential trade, again, we've heard that maybe Siakam's available, maybe Anunoby is available. Don't know. But yeah, I think, and not saying you want to get rid of these guys, but if you wanted to put together a package, how competitive a package could the Kings put together? Keep in mind, 2025 through 2029, they have all their picks. They have first and second round picks every one of those years. Plus, in 2030, they have a first rounder. So they have a lot of picks you could trade. Now, you can't trade picks in consecutive years, but that's a lot of draft capital you could move if you want to. TC mentioned Davion. I think he put Herder on his untouchable list. Herder would not be on my he would be on my touchable list. Yeah.
Take that.
And don't forget Sasha. Sasha's a guy who hasn't quite fit in here yet. Maybe he will. We know that he has ability to shoot the ball. Maybe this isn't a great fit for him, but I could see how that would be a guy as part of a package like, hey, we got the EuroLeague MVP for you. You know? So yeah, the Kings, I think, have the chance to put together a very competitive package. I don't know whether they will because of, you don't know if you're going to get somebody who's going to be around a while. But as far as that goes, I think they're in good position. They're able to put together a nice piece of assets for somebody. When we come back, the NBA may have finally had enough of Draymond Green. We haven't talked about him all so long. We're just getting warmed up on Draymond Green. We're right back with that next year. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Stop your grinding with Bucks Night Guard. Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I ended up going to a dentist, and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found the Brooks Night Guard. You mold it at home to the top or bottom teeth. Other mouth guards go all the way to the back, which allows the back teeth to touch. This is where most of the grinding and clenching occurs. The Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Order your Brooks Night Guard today and get 10% off plus free shipping. Go to brooksnightguard.com and enter the code BRUX91. That's BRUX91. Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
You own a truck because you want to get the job done right. TruckSmart is your work truck headquarters. For over 35 years, they've been outfitting trucks for leading construction firms, service providers, and municipalities in the region. Truck racks, toolboxes, lighting, commercial shells, rhino lining, they've got it all. And their expert installers will get it done right the first time. So visit the truck experts at TruckSmart today with locations in Rockland and Auburn. They'll make your truck your favorite tool. TruckSmart.com.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you thought last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day, available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Hold on to your Santa hats because Elk Grove Kia is turning up the holiday heat with deals that'll leave you saying no money down. This Christmas, keep your wallet at home because Elk Grove Kia is making your dreams come true with 0 down payment. That's right, absolutely nothing out of your pocket to drive home in a brand new Kia today. Or if you're ready to slay the season in style, picture this: the award-winning 2024 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, the hottest sled in town, for just $439 per month plus tax. You heard it right, only $439. So whether it's the sleek 2024 Kia Telluride or the no money down offer, Elk Grove Kia says 0 hassles and 0 worries. ElkGroveKia.com. Qualified applicants, 0 down examples, 5 GK 9133, 48 monthly, 0 down model number C3422, right 24 monthly, 439 plus tax, 4495, dual signing, social security, plus residual, 43,350, and GK 93, expires
Elk Grove Kia.
Dell's holiday event is one of their biggest sales of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Lowe's knows how to save pros time and money. Right now, save over $40 on a Werner 6-foot stepladder. Was $115, now just $69.98. And there's more. Get up to 30% off select kitchen cabinet orders. Visit us in-store or online for more deals you can't beat. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 12/7 through 12/13 on item number 98148. While supplies last. Minimum purchase and exclusions apply. See associate for details.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
Only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Yeah, another loss for the Kings last night in which they were not especially competitive, but they can take care of business against the Thunder tomorrow night. Starting that 6-game homestand, everybody's going to feel a lot better about things. Hopefully Kyle Draper's feeling a lot better tomorrow. Drape's still out sick. Hopefully
Caught that bird flu.
Yeah, whatever it was, it's lingering today. So, Whitey Gleason and Jay with you. We appreciate you being with us. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. And that brings us to Draymond Green. We're still waiting to hear what the NBA may do. They may take action. They won't necessarily do anything more than what they've done. Most people think the league is going to probably have to take some kind of action against Draymond, who was ejected again last night for, let's just start with that, Jay. It was one of the stranger things I've ever seen an NBA player do. He was being held by Nurkic. He flails. He says he's trying to sell the call. He turns and ends up whacking Nurkic in the head with his offhand. Just the action itself was very odd and unusual.
Yeah, that's Draymond being Draymond, man. Like, the easiest way to say that is that's just Draymond being the character of who he is. Going above an extra, than what you probably did need to. He could have sold the call a lot easier or in a different way, but nah. But
it was weird.
Yeah, it looked weird.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely, on the eye was very weird.
Yeah, I'm wondering if, because I've watched it a few times like everybody who cares, he was looking at the official. So he starts to turn, then he looks at the official, and I think maybe he thought, all right, the official's looking at me. I'm going to smack this guy in the shoulder. I'm going to give Nurkic a little something in the shoulder. And then he missed it, actually hit him in the head because he wasn't looking. Draymond apologized afterwards. He says, you guys know me. I don't apologize for something I intended to do. I didn't mean to hit him in the head. Nurkic says, I'm just glad he didn't choke me. What do you think the NBA should do? What do you think the NBA will do? There's also this is all against the backdrop of an NBA that is negotiating new TV deals. So they're very sensitive, even more sensitive than they normally are to, bad optics, bad PR. So it's a really bad time for Draymond to all of a sudden, he's got this history of doing terrible things and odd things, and it's getting worse in the last few months. They're happening more and more frequently, which is really kind of concerning.
Yeah. I guess if I'm answering your question, two of the questions that's in there before I give you my thoughts on the situation, I think the NBA should put the stamp down on Draymond.
Really?
Like, I'm a Draymond apologist. I'll be the first one to admit. What Draymond does doesn't affect me as much as it does other people, especially Kings fans. I'm okay with the tough guy have to go out there and make a statement because that's what he needs to do for his team.
Yeah.
I respect that.
There are times when he does.
Yeah,
yes.
I get it. And he's been very successful in the fact of that. And a lot of people going to disagree with me. That's okay. I also think Draymond is and has been this way all his career. And now, more than ever, I think because of the team situation, he's going over the top with it. Because if he's not who he is anymore, then the Warriors' identity, as we're starting to see, they're starting to lose their identity. And I say that in the fact that teams aren't afraid of the Warriors as much, if at all, as they used to be 3-4 years ago.
No question.
People are coming at the Warriors, and we see it. Like, you see people post game or, during the game, they don't care what Draymond doing. They coming at Draymond. People getting in Draymond's face. 5-6 years ago, might have been a little different. He was punking everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting in people's faces and doing certain things. And so I think, to answer your question, I think the NBA is going to give him double digits. He got 5 for what he just did, a couple weeks ago, whatever. I think he's going to get 10. What I think they should do, though, is I think they should make a statement, and they should be right up under what Ja got. Like, Ja got 25 for a lot of things that he did off the court.
Mm-hmm.
Draymond, because he's doing these things on the court and causing these, issues, I think he should get close. At least 15 for me, man. Like,
wow.
I would make and because of what you said when it comes to the NBA, Whitey, because of this is happening too regularly. And the third part of it is, if you want someone to change, and you're a parent, you can tell me better than I can tell you. You have to put some stern things in place. And to me, he ain't lost enough money.
Right.
To me, he hasn't paid as big as a penalty. I think he's paid more of a personal penalty, or with his teammates, people say costing championships or losing this game here. But if you really want to stick a person, hit him in the pockets, hit him where he feels bad about what he's done, his actions, because now the people around him, the loved ones around him, are looking at him. And I think that's what we're starting to see with the Warriors now. His brothers in arms, his coach. I don't know what behind closed doors, but I think now, Whitey, we're starting to get to the point where you can start to see a little bit of downtroddenness from some of the people that he really trusts and loves, and people that he wants to not disappoint. I think that's starting to become a problem. And so I think either you nip it in the bud, which we said about the Ja Morant situation, and this is on court. I think you got to stick them and really make sure, like, hey, listen, either get with it or don't. That's me. I think it's gonna be under 15 though.
Yeah, I would think 10 would be the max.
Think 10 is the max,
because remember, the league also, they want to make sure they curb this, but the Warriors are a hot property for them. People are interested in the Warriors. They don't want to hurt them too much.
Right.
Continue with the parenting analogy that you use, and I think everyone who follows this probably knows this, but if the Warriors are the parent, they've let them go. They've let them do too much now.
Mm-hmm.
Now for the Warriors, it's almost like, well, this time you're really in trouble, and the kid's like, yeah, right.
Whatever.
But I think the fact that Draymond tried to apologize, which he never does, shows me that he knows, okay, I'm in big trouble this time. And I think the league knows too. The Warriors right now, they are struggling. They need him. He's actually playing really well for them. The numbers are really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they know if they sit him down for an extended period, whatever that is, it's really going to hurt them. So I think that's what they have to do. But the Warriors are in a way responsible for this because they've let it go this far. You go back to 2016, mid-season, they're playing in OKC. And it was the game, you may remember, Steph Curry made like a 35-footer to win the game. It was an amazing win. But at halftime of that game, people say that Draymond was screaming at Kerr and cussing because Kerr had said something like, you're shooting too much. We don't want you to shoot. And Draymond just went off on him. And for the most part, they let that go. They accepted that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the message of Draymond is, we don't like it, but okay. And then later that year, of course, that's when he ended up getting thrown out of the finals, and it cost him a championship. And they really, since then, have they ever drawn a line with Draymond? I don't think they ever have.
No, I mean, this dude's got away with punching teammates.
Yeah.
Going above and beyond. I mean, even last year, in the playoffs against the Kings, where him egging fans to come with it, keep talking. And that's why I say I'm kind of at the point now as a Draymond apologist where just what you said, and I've been this probably the last couple of years, where it's like, okay, we got to nip Draymond in the bud a bit. Like, he's got to be hushed. He's got to be quieted. And if, going back to your analogy, if the Warriors are the parent, they have to be the first ones to do it. They've yet to do it.
Right.
And then take it the step further, the grandparents, the NBA, they've definitely done a terrible job because, as you said, it's an entertainment situation when it comes to them. They're on 30 times a year. So we need Draymond to be a part of it. We need the antics. We need to have a villain. Mm-hmm. He is the NBA villain right now.
Yep.
No doubt about it. Most people dislike him. And then you have a couple people who are in his corner. And then you probably have some people like me. Like, I like what Draymond brings to the table. I do believe he has some antics and things like, okay, man, you can leave that at home. Like, that's not doing anything. And that's why I said I believe now the NBA is starting to catch up to it. And that's if I'm a Warrior, if I'm inside the walls with the Dubs and I'm in the Chase Center, I'm rocking with them every single day as a player, as a whoever position down there that has the authority to speak to Draymond. Listen, man, first of all, this is a new era of youngsters. We have different cats that's coming into the league. They're not afraid of you no more, Draymond. Second part of it is you ain't pumping no fear. You 33, 34 years old, and he's 20, and he's bigger than you, just to keep it, visually 100%. And so there's some things Draymond has to reinvent himself, and I think he's having a trouble doing that. Like, he's not reinventing himself, and the Warriors have not yet, as you said, to help him do that.
Yeah, and to your point about Draymond and how people feel about him, there's people that like him. There's people that really don't like him. There's nobody that has no opinion. There's nobody who follows that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So the fact that he's polarizing is great for business, but it's just it's bad for optics. And the NBA's doing that dance now. Wow, we want to crack down on this. We don't want people to think this is acceptable to us, but it's good for business. So it'll be interesting to see. I think they may only go like 5 games.
Nah, they can't give him 5. You just gave him 5, Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
Just gave him 5.
Draymond Green, by the way, and Jay had a great question before the show that we'll address here when we come right back. Could this all actually impact Draymond Green's legacy and his Hall of Fame chances? We're right back with that on the Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers have owned the NFC West this season, and they look to take out their division rival Arizona on Sunday.
It's an end around to Deebo Samuel coming right, turns the corner, and goes into the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
The 49ers and Cardinals Sunday at 1 from Arizona on your home for 49ers football, Sactown Sports.
This holiday season, Good Guys Heating and Cooling is turning up the warmth and spreading joy with our Toys for Tune-Ups promotion. Schedule your tune-up or troubleshooting appointment, and with a donation of a new unwrapped toy at the time of your service, we'll waive the fee. It's our way of giving back and making a difference in the lives of local children who might not have the Christmas that every child deserves. All toys will benefit Children's Hope, a wonderful local foster charity right here in Sacramento. Call Good Guys Heating and Cooling at 530-GOOD-AIR to schedule your appointment, or book online at goodguysheatingcooling.com. Happy holidays from the Good Guys family. License number 1057-618.
If you're a business owner, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton invites you to take advantage of a 4.9% APR for up to 36 months on select 2023 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter vans. And since new Sprinters qualify for the Section 179 tax deduction, you can save up to $6,000 on your new Sprinter. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, sales, service, and a dedicated commercial van department to help your company with any job. mbofstockton.com.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Whitey Gleason and Jay Johnson with you, and hopefully Kyle Draper's back with us soon. He's a little under the weather. Thanks for being with us here. Thanks for your participation in the show. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Of course, on the YouTube chat, we appreciate it. Here's somebody, Manny Too Legit. I want to see Brooks and Draymond go at it one time. LOL. I don't think they'd ever. Those guys are too smart. They never would actually. It would never come to that, would it?
I don't know. Look, both of those cats. Why? I think you're giving both of those cats a little too much credit, Whitey. Both of those cats are a little unhinged. It would be entertaining for sure.
I think I'd take Brooks in that.
Yeah. Man, okay, we're going blow for blow here. What we doing? What we talking? If it gets physical?
Yeah.
Or are we just talking about
if it's actually, they're actually trading blows.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a 50-50 shot right there. That's a pick 'em almost.
Yeah. The thing about Draymond that's really interesting to me, and it's a little unsettling, just as a basketball fan. You look at the Jordan Poole punch previous training camp, not last training camp, but the one before, and then you look at the Sabonis stomp, which, and let's be honest, the Kings knew what they were doing. And you saw Monk, and he was grabbing Draymond's foot and Sabonis. So they were trying to bait him, but they did, and he snapped.
Yep.
And then I would lump this in just Saturday, when Draymond had that terrible decision to foul Holmgren as he was shooting a three. Now, I know that's not violent, that's not illegal, but his judgment, it seems like it's getting worse. I would have thought when Draymond was near the end of his career that his skills would tail off, but it seems more like his numbers are good, but it seems like his judgment is just getting worse and worse. And then you had the choke on Gobert. Like, that should have been a point at which somebody said, all right, we're done. Whatever the problem is, we got to figure it out here. But no. And now he had that weird thing last night. And to be honest, Jay, when I first saw it, I thought, Nurkic flopped. He didn't get hit that hard. Then I watched it again. I was like, yeah, he got whacked pretty good.
Yeah.
But it was so strange. It makes me wonder, Draymond says, I didn't mean to do it. I think it's possible that he did mean to do it, and he doesn't even know that he meant to do it.
Man, okay. I see where you're going.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, I'm going to give Draymond the benefit of the doubt of this. Draymond knows exactly what he's doing when he does it.
Yes.
And if he's saying, well, I didn't mean to do, I believe he probably didn't mean to hit him across the face.
I agree.
But I believe he meant to hit him.
Right. Because your arm, when you turn, doesn't fly. It's not independent of the rest of your body.
Exactly. And so that's why I said, look, you can't school you can't talk slick to an oil can, right?
Yeah.
You're talking to an oil can right here, Draymond. You're not that slick, brother. You can't sell water to a well.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole point of that is he knows exactly what he's doing. I just don't think the outcome was what he was expecting. I'm not sure he meant to hit him again across the face, probably across the neck.
Right.
Maybe
while
a
the referee
glance.
wasn't looking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so that lets me know it's what, again, I've said this on this air before. One of the very first things I learned as a child, my grandmother taught me. Stupidity is you know the difference and you continue to do it. Ignorance is you have no clue what it is and you did it. You were ignorant to the fact. I didn't know. He knows. And so at some point in time, going back to your analogy, the Warriors, y'all did a bad job. Your parenting skills were terrible. The NBA, grandparents, y'all didn't even instill the guidance into your own children to pass it down to your grandchildren, right? And so that's a problem. Now, guess what? We have a problem child. We have Dennis the Menace. We have somebody that's a problem. Draymond. You have to fix it, or Draymond is going to continue to rush. He's just going to run over what's going on, and that's what he's doing.
Do you think this could impact? And it's your own question. I'm throwing back at you. I know it's a great question. Do you think this all could impact his Hall of Fame chances?
I say yes, and the reason I say is because who votes for the Hall of Fame, Whitey?
I know media members do.
There you go. Guess what Draymond is not making? He's not doing. He's not making friends with some of the media. Guess what he's not doing with some of his co-parts when it comes to the NBA players and all that. Who knows if the rules change within the next year? We've been hearing that for quite a few times. We want former players or current guys, or not just the media. We want other people to make some decisions. We've even heard fandom votes being, intertwined into the Hall of Fame down the road. He's not making friends. He's making enemies. And as we've seen, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, just not to drag it over to baseball because that's something different, but he's also doing so much that is not beneficial to who he is and who he has been so far in his career that I think is going to hurt him down the road. And we know, look, 75%, I can't remember what basketball is off the top of my head.
Basketball is really a weird
It
system.
is because it's a basketball situation. Yeah. But there's a percentage. There's a percentile you need to be in. And we know 1 or 2 votes can change your whole livelihood. Guess what? When you're a Hall of Famer, you get to walk around and you get to have a bus. When you're a Hall of Famer, when you go to these card shows, I know you're into trading cards, you can sign your autograph means a little bit more than just a good player, a veteran, a guy that was, known as a champion because you were carried by Steph Curry or whatever. Draymond over the last 2 or 3 years is starting to hurt his image. And that's what I'm saying is, as a Warrior and as the NBA, you're not only hurting what's the product, the brand, because you're having a lot of fans being turned off, you're hurting Draymond. And that's the worst thing you can do. Draymond's hurting himself. And now people who, as we talked about John Morant yesterday and other guys like that, now the people around him are hurting him because they're not trying to quiet what he's doing.
I know some basketball people that will tell you just based on the basketball, Draymond shouldn't be in there. I think we can agree.
Be in a hall?
Yeah, based on the way things are, I think we can agree he's in.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I think that he'll be in because I also think this, no matter what happens here, I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't the last episode of this that we see with Draymond. But when he's done, he's going to go into TV. And he's really good on TV.
Well, he's got to deal with TNT already.
Right. So he's going to be doing a great job of cleaning up his image after the fact, after he's done playing, no matter where it ends up. A lot of times guys who are marginal Hall of Famers, I've seen this in football, guys are marginal, is he a Hall of Famer? And they go on TV like Chris Carter. They're on TV a few years, next thing you know, boom, he's in the Hall of Famer. Yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame. That's another
Eli
example.
Manning probably, yeah.
So I think he'll be in, but I think it's a great point that I hadn't thought of that. And I could see why if people were really being honest about it and really scrutinizing him, you could make the case that, yeah, he would have been, but he ruined that depending on where it goes from here. Another big suspension, you got to take that into account when you're voting on that.
Well, that's his detractors.
Yeah.
Again, I've started this conversation with saying I've been a Draymond apologist, but there are certain things that I just can't apologize or make an excuse for. You're doing too much, Draymond. That's it. I have no problem with saying that. The people around him don't seem to want to say that, or if they have, we haven't heard it. It hasn't been loud enough. Hence why we're asking how many games he'll be suspended. But on the opposite side of apologists, or like you said, some people who really love him, I'm kind of probably down in the middle. Then you have a lot of people who listen to this station can't stand him for good reason.
Right.
Those are going to be his detractors. Well, look what he did in the finals. Steven Adams situation, Rudy Gobert situation. He stomped on Domantas Sabonis. He done slapped Nurkic in the mouth. Now, you're giving too many issues now.
Yeah.
You're giving many reasons for a detractor to say he shouldn't be in the hall.
Remember when he was kicking Steven Adams right in the kiwi? Remember, and one of the things that he said was, or his backer said, not you, but, oh, well, that's a natural thing. He kicks his leg out. It's like, really? He naturally kicks people right in the ball rack? Well, it's the same thing he tried last night.
Right.
I didn't mean to do it. Just my arm flung all the way around and into his head. It's like, Draymond, no, you already tried that excuse. We already know that that's not legit.
He threw an overhand right, man.
Yeah, I couldn't help it. I was turning my body toward him, so I punched him in the head. I couldn't help it.
Yeah, man, listen, I really, again, me personally, speaking for myself, I like what Draymond has brought to the Warriors, to the NBA. He's a success story, second round guy, small town Saginaw, Michigan. I think he came into the NBA and flipped the NBA on its side in certain many instances. I respect that.
And a great defender.
Come on, man. And if you don't appreciate that part of it because of the antics, I respect your opinion. But I also would argue that he's definitely a Hall of Famer. The Warriors wouldn't have won, as we've seen, and now we're really realizing he is part of their identity, and he sets the precedent for what they've done. To me, that's Hall of Fame material. Plus, he has the things to back it up. And he probably should have won another Defensive Player of the Year award once or twice. He should have got a couple more. All the NBA defensive teams, like, dude has a resume. But I'm really interested to see, because of everything that's starting to happen with him, if the detractors are gonna, that equal playing field is gonna rise up on the wrong side, and a lot of people, because it's media, we're gonna see, I just can't vote for him. You know why? Because he's like you said, he's over here Kurt Franklin and somebody's genitals. That's not gonna happen. I can't vote for him, right? So I really think that's where we're starting to get to with some of his Hall of Fame status.
When we come right back, we'll get back to the phones also. Draymond Green, DeMarcus Cousins. What's the difference? Next, Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center, and mostly sunny skies this afternoon. Temperatures will be warming into the lower 60s as we head through the day. Expect to have mainly clear skies as we head into the evening hours with increasing clouds and cool temperatures. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Winter's coming, so let's kick off the cold season right and get your heater all tuned up. Now just $79. No matter how cold it gets outside, you'll always be warm and toasty inside. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Christmas is in the air at Hanley's Kia. The season of giving back is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg, an EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride. At Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia, the season of giving back today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136138.
At Jim Boy's Tacos, you get a ho lot of flavor for under $10. Our classic #2 combo meal spreads cheer with a parm-dusted ground beef taco, scratch-made bean and cheese burrito, and a soft drink. So jingle on down to Jim Boy's or order online at participating locations.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no account to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Lead generation is one of the most important aspects of any marketing campaign. Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products or services to them. Go to aimyourdigital.com today. aimyourdigital.com.
The Drive Guys power your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. You want to participate in the show? Whitey and Jay today. Hopefully Kyle Draper's back with us tomorrow. We've been talking a lot about Draymond today. I've heard and seen on the chat today and heard today with Alan and Chris, a lot of people kind of comparing Draymond to Dennis Rodman. And I have to be honest, I understand some of the similarities, but Jay, to me, those two guys are not the same guys at all. I mean, I know Dennis Rodman's a great rebounder, and he was kind of I know he kicked a cameraman one time, but he was a guy that just seemed like a little unstable, a little, I don't know, what's the word? Like he didn't know what he was going to do, but he wasn't like, I don't know. He didn't go after people the way Draymond does. Draymond, on the other hand, I think in some ways is more of a team guy, more reliable in some ways than Rodman. I mean, I know he's not reliable now, but Draymond wanted to win, and Rodman, I think we didn't know what he wanted, other than when he wanted to play, he was really good.
Problem is they both win and have won.
A lot.
So I think that's the comparison, and just the bad boy references. You know, like Draymond again in this era, he is definitely NBA public enemy number one, and for a long time, you know, Rodman was that. And is for the Rodman a lot of times was more or less in your face on the court. Off the court, it was who knows. I think that's what we're saying. Unstable.
Yeah.
Where it's almost like the opposite for Draymond. Off the court, no issues. On the court, he's unstable. You don't know what's going to happen, especially lately. And so I think there's a comparison. They're both defensively, you know, they were wizards. Definitely, you know, with Rodman, I think he won 3 times Defensive Player of the Year, 2 or 3 times. Of course, just on the glass. I mean, Rodman was Windex. He was the absolute, when you say rebounder, he was Windex. He was cleaning the glass. And so Draymond, in many ways, is kind of like that prototypical big man who did everything, you know, for this era of the NBA. And so I think there's a comparison to be made. I think it's almost the opposite. Rodman unstable off the court. Draymond's kind of proven to be unstable on the court.
Yeah, there are definitely similarities, but I don't see them as being similar. There's also this to me, when Rodman, especially when he was a young player, and I know he was with those Pistons and he's with the Bulls, and he played a long time in a lot of different teams, but he wasn't even the toughest guy on his own team, you know, on those bad boy Pistons. You had Mahorn and you had Lambeer and those guys. And Draymond has always been, he's made a point of being the toughest guy on his team.
Yes, which is, Whitey, this is one thing, and this is why I said Draymond's a Hall of Famer. In this day and age of the league, that's a skill. That's something that has allowed him, the deficiencies of his game, that's one of the skills that has proven to be valuable for him, to get in people's head, to kind of pump people, to scare other competitors, and to lead his team, you know, that bravado. And it sounds crazy, but it's allowed Draymond to be Draymond. It's allowed who he is. I mean, it's allowed him to become who he is, which is public enemy number one. And that's where the comparison of Dennis Rodman I can really understand, because those Draymond and Dennis, they walked around with that type of bravado. Like, yeah, get in my face and see what happened. And that's a skill. And the reason why is because when I look down at the Golden One Center, there's like 15 guys on that team that I don't believe have that.
Dennis Rodman to me was just weird. He was tough and he was a great rebounder, but he was just, wow, that guy's weird. And I guess I don't see Draymond that way. Certainly he's concerning some of his behavior, but I don't see him as being that like, whoa, where is this guy coming from?
But is it because of the off the court stuff?
A lot of, yeah.
And so that's kind of what I said. I think Rodman off the court is unstable. And all the things that we've heard, the detractions of what Rodman has done,
I see what you're saying.
is off the court. It's like no one ever questioned he was a good basketball player, right?
Right.
It's always
that's why teams kept bringing him back.
There it was.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's why somebody here, Nick, says if the Warriors don't make the playoffs, time to let Draymond go. I'm sure no team would want him. Somebody would want him.
The Kings should be looking at him because Mike Brown has, a relationship and history. And again,
so does Sabonis.
And Sabonis.
Yeah.
Don't right. Yeah, well, that's true. DeMontis to me though is such a nice guy that I think he would look past it for the winning. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I say Draymond has a skill of being that public enemy number one. He's created a lane for him so big that now the NBA has a problem. Not his team, but the NBA has a problem because he's walked around so long as, look, man, I'll punk anybody that's in my way. And it has allowed them to win certain instances because people backed up off of him. And now they're not. And now he has to reinvent himself and the lack of, instruction around him. And maybe he just doesn't want to.
I got a question for you, for everybody here in just a moment. First, we go to the phones. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Emmy joins us on Sactown Sports. Thanks for hanging on, Emmy. What's up?
Hey, guys. First of all, great game for Sasha yesterday. Second of all, about David, I think he deserves more than 20 games. I am a Warriors fan. That doesn't matter at the moment. He done it before. He's a bad example. He needs to learn. He needs to be disciplined somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And a very, very good game for Sasha yesterday. I know you guys lost, and I'm sorry, but it was a good game.
Thank you, Emmy, with the Sasha sandwich there. She says, Sasha was great. Draymond needs to be disciplined. And by the way, Sasha was great.
Sasha was average, by the way.
Yeah, for him, he had a good game.
Yeah, well, that's average.
And it was...
I'm not accepting it.
The game was already decided.
Yeah, and
she's a big fan.
I get it. Understandable. And I mean, look, I'm a big fan of plenty of people who are average, and I respect that. I think they're better than what they really are because I'm a fan of those people. But in reality, he's average. And that's a problem. They're looking for him to be not average. They're looking for him to be better.
I don't think we know what he is yet, but they definitely need him to be better than what we've seen so far. Last night, he did some nice things. Here's my question, though. Last night, what Draymond did, we're all talking about it. Oh, the league, what a terrible thing for the league. Is it really bad for the league? People are talking about the NBA today on talk shows, and sure, they're talking about what happened, but is that really bad for the league? Are there potential TV sponsors that are going to look at that and go, well, we don't want any part of that? Or do they say, wow, this league is popular? How bad is it really for the league to have Draymond smack Nurkic in the face?
That's a tough question.
In some ways, it's good for business.
Of course, because people are talking about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Impressions, views, clicks, watches. I get it. I mean, we all are talking about Draymond today, one way or another, even outside of sports, right? And so it's a tough question because it's a negative form. And Emmy made a great point where she said, it's the standard that is being set by Draymond is not a good look. She said that in her own words, and that's 100% right. I mean, you can't argue that. Some of the precedent that is starting to be set by Draymond in the league and the Warriors, some people, however they choose to live their lives, because we all have our own opinion. Some people don't want their children to watch that type of stuff. It sounds crazy, like, oh man, you're doing too much. But some people live in that form. They don't want to see that. Some people don't care. And this is the detraction of Draymond. Like, he's doing too much. I don't want it. You have some basketball peers. I just want to see the game. I just want to see basketball. I don't want to see, we hear it quite a bit, quite often where you guys, man, just shut up and play because you're crying to the officials too many times. Well, that's something we hear quite a bit from fans and listeners.
Yeah.
And so, as Emmy said, the standard, depending on whose standard it is starting to be set in a probably not the best way from Draymond in the NBA. But all in all, it's probably a good thing for the league to have this type of publicity.
Yeah. I think what the league decides to do and how severe the penalty is going to be comes down to one thing, and it's something that really for us is unknowable. But how do they really feel about it? Does the NBA feel like, you know what? We got to make sure people know that we don't condone this type of thing, but we don't really care. When he comes back, it'll be great. What's the fewest games we can give him? That's one thing. Or if they feel like, hey, this is it. We've got to show him and the team that this is unacceptable. If that's how they feel, I don't know. But if that's how they feel, I mean, we're talking about, like you said, a jaw-sized, because that's the only thing, right? If they really want to send that message, 10 didn't do anything. You got to at least double it.
Yeah. I mean,
but I don't know how they really feel.
Yeah, I would think, and I haven't thought about this until right now, last 20, 30 minutes. Maybe the NBA comes out and gives them 10, and then the Warriors say, you know what, man? We got to throw another 5 on it. And maybe
I got 5 on it.
I got 5 on it. Shouts out Young Mouth and the Loonies. And maybe you set some different type of precedent there, Whitey, because the two culprits we're asking is, what in the heck are the Warriors doing? And what is the NBA going to do?
Well, I just don't think that would ever happen because the Warriors.
I get it.
Yeah. The Warriors are going to want to be, he's our guy.
I get it.
We're trying to help him. Unless the league said, you better tack on. If the league mandated it, maybe they would.
Well, no. Why would the league have to do that when they have the power to do whatever they need to do?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if you want to see something different, you want to see a standard be set differently. Hey, look, NBA came out, give 10, and then next thing you know, Mr. Dunleavy comes out, not Bob Myers, but blanking on the owner. I don't know why.
Joe Lacob. Bob Myers is the smartest man in America.
He got out of there quick, didn't he? Now he's all on ESPN, and he's laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah.
And he's got his reputation still intact. Yes. But Joe Lacob, if they come out and say, you know what, with Draymond next to them, because he has to be next to them. Because if he's not visual, like if we can't see his reactions and all that type of stuff, or you're gonna put out that bogus PC, he's gonna come out and do what he did after Jordan Poole. He's got to be next to them and have an understanding. Look, you gotta fess up to what's going on, and we're gonna slap you across the wrist a little more. If they give you 10, we're giving you 13. We're adding an extra 3. Maybe that's something different you try.
And the Draymond situation is just one of the reasons why right now you'd rather be the Kings than the Warriors. Other reasons are coming right up when we come back. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Harrison Barnes plays here.
Harrison Barnes drives it, hammers it. The Black Falcon soaring into the night sky on a Monday evening in Northern California.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you thought last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day. Available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Let's head out. The theater's about to close. Wait, what does that sign say? Warning, watch your step? No, next to it. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of serious consequences from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60. I didn't know that.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. RSV vaccines, including Pfizer's, are available. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet Arch Support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone for the life of your garden. The 49ers keep on winning this holiday season, sporting a 5-game win streak since the bye week. San Francisco took care of Seattle in Week 14, 28-16. Quarterback Brock Purdy had a career high in passing yards last Sunday, throwing for 368 yards. The Red and Gold are now the first team in the NFL to clinch a playoff spot this season, currently holding the number 1 seed in the NFL.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, EB Stone has gathered invaluable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with EB Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. EB Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive both indoors and outdoors. Trust EB Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled with joy and flourishing greenery.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
You know, Draymond Green was only one of 2 big-name NBA players to get ejected last night. Did you hear about Jokic last night, Jay?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
A lot of people are making the biggest deal because it was on Serbia night in Chicago, and I can respect that.
Yeah, he got thrown out after one technical because he he said, "Call the foul, mother bleeper."
Hey, listen, he told him what he thought.
Yeah, that's according to multiple people sitting along the baseline. Mark Lindsay, the crew chief, gone.
Soft. I'm talking about tissue paper.
Right.
The officials, soft. I mean, look, I don't even want to get on a Drake's Take situation. But
Jay's takes.
We're getting to the point with officials in basketball and football for sure. These dudes and young ladies in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. And in the NFL.
And in the NFL, there are a few.
Yeah.
They're not very good at their job in many instances. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm also saying they're almost as bad. Like they're getting to the point to where it's an every night thing, every week thing when it comes to NFL. And that's a problem. And I've always been a detractor of officials and referees and umpires and everything else. Not in the fact of people doing their job, but how long, like at what point in time are they talking about a Draymond situation? Are the officials, referees, umpires, are they going to take the loss? Are they going to get fined? Are they going to be able to get called out? Because when you call them out, what happens? You turn into not the victim, but you turn into the aggressor.
Well, in this case, it's just a classic example, too. Classic example of, hey, who are people there to see? Who did they pay to see? They didn't pay to see crew chief Mark Lindsay. And, I can imagine it's not easy being abused like that. But at some point, it's just a matter of, hey, Joker, dude, you say that again and you're gone. You get that, right?
Right.
Because he said, I crossed the line. But it's a guy who's a 2-time MVP, should have been 3-time MVP. You can't throw him out of the game for that.
Yeah.
That's bad. We're talking about business. It all comes down to that, really.
True. It's
That's
about the money.
bad for business.
But the other part of this too, Whitey, is and this is something as a player, because I've been a player. I haven't been an official. That's the heat of the moment. That's what, when you go to the court of law, and I'm not comparing, there's passion crimes, and then there's premeditated crimes, and that's in the moment, man. And some people, as we talked about the standards, some people don't allow their children to watch, things people curse on television or movies, or listen to that type of music. We had that discussion yesterday. And then on the opposite side, some people see that as entertaining. It's just what you said.
Mm-hmm.
But with all that being said, when you kick them out, we don't get nothing.
Right.
But this the other part. The same Mark Lindsay, when he does a bad job, why is he not kicked out? Why can't we call him out? Why can't none of these players? Because what did even Jokic say yesterday in the post game? He was like, look, I like my money. I'm not going to say anything, but y'all know what I want to say. Man, call that dude out, Mark. Just like all the morning shows that's on ESPN and on Fox and all these national networks, just like we get to call up people out to say, give our opinion. Why are these dudes off limit? Why are these young ladies off limit? Why can't they take any criticism? Why can't they be fined? Why can't they be wrong? Why are they God? Why don't they make mistakes? Man, y'all people, y'all not Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all make mistakes too. And that be the problem with officials and referees and umpires. It's like, oh, well, okay, they made a mistake, but give them a pat on the back. Nah, check this out. Suspend them for 10 games too.
Yeah, Mark Lindsay, the crew chief. So I'm not sure he was the one. He was explaining it after the fact. He said Jokic was ejected after one technical foul because he directed profane language at the official that by our standards warranted an ejection, end quote. That's clearly a miss. Everybody knows that's a miss. So I'm sure that will ultimately be addressed. Baseball, my understanding is, Jay, at least at the major league level, of course, you can't argue balls and strikes. It's a rule.
Right.
Guys still kind of do, but it's a rule. You can't argue that. So my understanding is, like, if a manager's really upset at a guy's strike zone, and it's harder now because you got the pitch clock, you can go out to the mound and complain to your pitcher about it. And then if the umpire comes out, he just happens to hear you. It's like, I'm talking to my pitcher.
Oh, yeah.
You can say
I've had
what
it.
a terrible job you think the umpire's been
I've
doing.
had plenty of I've had managers come out, and instead of making the beeline straight to the to the mound, they take the long route. They take Highway 1, Pacific Coast. They go up the coast a little bit. And it's like, oh, okay, I see what's going on, playing middle infield. And then that's when you kind of get the call in from and out. That's just to buy more time. We're all walking to the mound, and the manager, the coach is cursing. He's doing the Jokic. He's doing the Draymond, but he's saying it. And we've all got to this point where you're speaking loud enough for the party to hear you.
Right.
Oh yeah, I get that all the time.
Yeah.
For sure. I've been hundreds of times in my career.
I'm not talking to you.
Right.
I'm talking to my second
right.
baseman here.
Exactly. Move over to the right because his zone isn't right.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Joe joins us here on Sactown Sports. Hello, Joe. What's up?
Hey guys, I love your show, man. You guys do a great job every day.
Thank you. What can we do for you today?
Real quick, want to make a couple points. I know you guys touched a little bit about it, but not enough on the whole media buy situation. It's no coincidence that the NBA launched the in-season tournament this year, right going into a media buy season where all their media contracts are pretty much going to be renegotiated, right?
Right.
So they've been talking about this for 10 to 15 years. So this is all about the value of the NBA, media buys. That's where they're making a ton of money. This is all about money. So I wanted to mention that, and then that relates to Draymond Green's situation. There's no possibility Draymond Green gets only 5 games out of this. The league does not want that to be the visual at all for the league. I wouldn't be surprised if they did 15 games or more, and then the Warriors came out and did something like a in-team suspension until he fixed the situation. And let me real quick chime on Draymond Green. He's reached a point where he doesn't care about the team anymore. Doesn't care about Steph Curry. Doesn't care about Steve Kerr. Doesn't care about Warriors or fans or winning or championships. If he did, he wouldn't be doing all that. And for that reason, Draymond is dispensable. That means he is up for a contract trade. He's not a team player anymore, which really irks me. Final point, hockey. If you think if the fighting in hockey, if that affected their media buy situation, they would dry that fighting up every night in a heartbeat. But they don't, because they make money on that, right? So I just think it's all about the money, the revenue share, and media buys and going into a contract season. And I think that's why you're going to see Draymond Green get a very, very hefty suspension tomorrow.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, we're anxiously awaiting a word on that. As far as Draymond and his value to the Warriors, I think he is still, if they want to win in the foreseeable, I still think he's indispensable to them. We'll kick that around when we come right back here. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The 49ers have secured their playoff berth, and now they chase the NFC's top seed.
Purdy out of the shotgun, looks left, throws end zone. Caught! George Kittle in the back of the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Check out all the 49ers games with Greg Papa and Tim Ryan.
On your home for the playoff-bound 49ers. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
The year might be coming to a close, but Indeed's end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you have a game plan for COVID-19? Prescription oral treatments must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms, even if mild. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. Offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
Christmas is in the air at Hanley's Kia. The season of giving back is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg, an EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride. At Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia, the season of giving back today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136138.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no account to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
All right, I need your help with something. Help me understand something. Jay and Whitey today, Kyle Draper hopefully back tomorrow. We've been talking a lot about Draymond and the Kings, and we'll get back to that. Draymond, by the way, right now, just one of the reasons why I think you'd much rather be right now the Kings and the Warriors. But before we get back to that, Kadarius Toney was offsides at the end of that Chiefs game, and was it today or yesterday? Patrick Mahomes talked about it, and the quote was, "I told him, you just be you." I was like, "How? What? How about just be onside,
man?
Right? I mean, you be you. I don't see how that even applies to what we're talking about."
Dude, Pat Mahomes is backpedaling so hard, and it comes from the fact that he cried. He turned into a pure crybaby.
He apologized to Josh Allen, as you know, and Josh Allen said, "Yeah, we're good."
Yeah,
I didn't need to have it.
Shut up.
Yeah,
basically that's what Josh was saying without saying it. Like, man, I ain't got nothing about it. Y'all lost. Well, you come over here and tell me that anyway. You took the L.
Yeah,
and now he's going into all kind of different emotions and different variations of how he can get around this. Fact of the matter is, and national cats should come out and be saying this a little more, and they're not, because he's the face. He's the golden boy of the NFL. Dude was wrong. He cried. Y'all took the L. He was offsides. Go back. Be real about it. You got smacked up. Yeah. That's all it is.
You be you.
What does that mean?
That's usually pretty good advice.
Don't catch the ball.
It doesn't apply
because that's what they're not doing.
That's it. Right. I mean, it was not even close. Anyway, we'll get back to the 49ers here in about 10 minutes here. Tell you what CMC is doing. That's a very rare feat that he's on the verge of accomplishing. But would you agree with me, Jay, right now? I know the Kings last night did not look good. Again, a blowout loss. 7 of their 9 losses have been very one-sided. And it was a tough night for the Warriors as they kicked another one that they could have won, and Draymond now awaits further punishment from the league. But I think right now, you'd rather be the Kings than the Warriors. Would you agree?
Yes, definitely. I mean, the future looks a little more brighter when it comes down to this side of the I-80.
Be nice to have the trophies, but I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, come on now. I mean, if you was to say the Kings will win 4 championships within the next 12 years, come on, sign me up. I don't care where the 4 are. Mm-hmm. I'm absolutely, but when it's all said and done right now, yeah. I mean, for the foreseeable future, unless the Warriors make a few different moves, yeah, I'd rather be the Kings. I think I told you this off air. the Warriors to me had a few opportunities, and loyalty caused them to miss out, I think, on some opportunities. And I just bring up Iguodala. I think Iguodala, for when he was playing, matched what the Warriors did fantastically. But they were so loyal to Iguodala, like the last 4 years. I mean, they even traded him and brought him back. He stole money. That 2 year for 17 per, like you could have got somebody way better that was more valuable. And it kind of pushed him, had to go get like the Kelly Oubre and like that, that year or so. And it's tough because you don't want to fault a squad for being loyal because you don't see it too much. But loyalty has definitely put them in a hole a little bit.
Yeah, my theory on that, it's funny you mentioned that about Iguodala, because a lot of people wondered, really? I mean, it appeared they were like begging him to come back the last couple of years. And I thought last year, things with Jordan Poole, and they brought Iguodala back before the punch, but it was some interesting things going on there because you had the young guys that were trying to assert themselves, and you had the old guard, and they were resentful of the young guys. And I think maybe they thought Andre's going to help us smooth all that over. I don't know that he did. That's the only thing I can think of other than that, because like you say, he didn't play.
You know what that's called, Whitey? A coach.
Yeah. And I think they thought he could help some of the youngsters, and I'm sure he did. But you got to your point. I mean, they've been dealing as far as the loyalty now. That's been an issue with Clay. By the way, it came out this afternoon that the Warriors offered Clay a 2-year deal before the season started, and he turned it down. And right now there's no deal to be had. But they sat him down last night. He didn't finish. And, Steve Kerr has talked about how I've tried to be real patient with the veterans. So they're trying to figure all this out as inevitably, Father Time right now is sitting there going, all right, you guys ready? Because just about my time here. You're just about done. And it's a tough thing to see unravel, and it's hard to know how to deal with that for the coach and the players. And again, Bob Myers, smartest man in America.
Listen, I'm not crying for a bunch of cats that made a lot of money, won 4 championships. And that's why I say right now, and looking into the future, because as much as we love history and want to know where we came from to know where we're going, I'd rather have the Kings not know, future than the Warriors right now until something changes.
Yeah.
I do think Dunleavy is going to be a little aggressive at the trade deadline. And I think not only out of necessity, but also because he wants to put his stamp on his team.
Sure.
And I think that's going to come, albeit it might be without a Draymond. Like you might have to push Draymond out the door, but I think for the Kings, when it's all said and done, as much as, we've heard the arguments from everybody about HB over the last week, and someone who I continue to, look, I need to see a little more from Kevin Huerter. He kind of getting the pass now, but
that's fair. I mean,
that's
Greg
me.
says
though.
he has this bad finger.
Man,
which
listen,
can affect your
then
shooting,
sit
but-
down. Guess what? Sit down, because guess what you're not doing? You're not giving me nothing outside of making shots, and that's what you're doing. So go ahead and have a seat. We're not going to question your toughness because we know you want to play. But if you ain't being productive, hey, brother, it's all good. We respect that you're not getting things done, and we'll wait till you can for us, right? And so if it's one of those things, if you're not good enough healthy to help the team, you might be detrimental to the team of being hurt.
Right.
And that's what we need
That's a
to
good
start
point.
the question about Kevin Huerter. And that's just a fact. And if someone feels a certain way about that, that's all understandable. But if you're hurt and you can't get things done, then
You're not helping us. So what's the point of being tough?
Come on. Yeah. But with all that being said, I still like to be the Kings. I'd still like to have Dean here, and I'd still like to have Domas.
Here's they're going more this way, and the Warriors are inevitably starting to.
They're landing.
Yeah, it looks like it. I don't know if you read the
Pull
Athletic.
out the wheels. They're landing there.
Yeah. Tim, it wheels down. Tim Kawakami in the Athletic today, and I know Chris mentioned this. He's a very keen observer of all things in the Bay Area sports-wise, and he wrote today. He said, "I don't know if this is the end for the Warriors, but he said the end is going to look a lot like this." So it's like he didn't quite want to go there.
Revelations.
He said, when this thing ends, it's going to look a lot like this. So they're definitely at a crossroads, and it was inevitable.
Of course.
Yeah.
We see
all that
Belichick
talent,
today, right?
yeah.
I mean, nothing lasts forever, right? There ain't no Keith Sweat songs coming through here, righty?
Right.
But I say that to say, I think they could have extended it. Now, most people point to James Wiseman miss. You missed on Wiseman. Okay, I get that. I was a proponent. You take LaMelo Ball. I mean, I thought it was a shoe-in. You should have took him. And that would allow Steph Curry to be off the ball a little more. But whatever. I digress on that. But I do
You would have been
think-
right, by the way.
Yeah, I would have. I do think there were a few opportunities for the Warriors to inject some youngsters, people that were in the middle of their career and moving, 27, 28, 29, and maybe could reach 32 with this team. Sean Livingston, right? Like, to use an example. And they chose to be loyal. And I get it. All respect to a loyal organization because you don't see it in the pros. But with that loyalty comes what we're seeing now. And again, I'm not crying about what happened with the Warriors because they got 4 ships,
right?
And they made a lot of money, a new stadium. It's jumping and moving, and kudos to them. If the Kings could do that, then I'm all for it. But if I'm looking to begin something, if we're playing NBA 2K, I'm taking the Kings' future over the Warriors right now.
Yeah, I think the Warriors tried to be like the Spurs, and they won. They had a great run. No matter what happens from here, obviously, they had a great run. And the Durant teams, those might be the best teams we've ever seen. I mean, we can quibble. Those of us who are older, maybe some of those Boston teams, maybe, but maybe not. I mean, they were all-time great teams. But then you get to a point where, okay, Durant leaves, and then Clay got hurt, and the floor caved in, and they had that 15-win season. It's like, all right, from here, we start over. What they needed to be like the Spurs and what all great teams need. That's really hard, by the way. It's really hard. They needed player development. They needed to find the next guys. You mentioned Wiseman. They needed to find those guys that are going to be the foundations of the future. And they failed miserably at it. And it's not easy. It's not easy. But as you said, Wiseman, some of it was, hey, it's a pandemic. He didn't play much, but he's a center. And they drafted Kuminga, and they expected big things from him. And still now it's like, is he going to be any good? So that's really where they are now. The guys that they had picked a couple of years ago that were supposed to by now be carrying their fair share to load, some of them aren't even there anymore.
Right. We talked about Mike Brown not trusting some of his bench players. I truly agree. I mean, I truly think Steve Kerr doesn't trust Kuminga and Moody enough.
Right.
I see talent. I think I see more talent and capability out of those two, just to name those two, more than I think the Warriors realize. And again, look, I'm on the outside looking in. I don't work with the Warriors. I don't see these guys practice. I don't travel with them. I'm not waking up. I'm not going to sleep with them.
But you're on the radio.
So look, I'm going to have an opinion.
Yeah.
Right. And so my thing with that is I think they're better than what they're giving, credit. Like, if you give me Kuminga on the Kings right now, what? You telling me you wouldn't take Kuminga over HB? Please. That's me.
I don't know if Mike Brown would, because Mike Brown knows them both very well.
Well, we got to get Mike Brown on to answer that. And I mean, I know he would be, he's not going to say that.
But some of that is, Jay, excuse me, but to me, some of that is, and we all do it, it's like the guy who's not here is always been. The backup quarterback is always, it's like, hey, that guy's going to be better. I don't know.
Look,
I don't know if Kuminga would be the
I'm
answer.
not saying he is the answer. But I'm also saying I see some capabilities from Kuminga that I necessarily don't see on this team right now. And if
Certainly
we're giving
athleticism is
and
like
listen, if
the
shot
roof.
making as well, I think he has better shot making capabilities than any 4 down there. That's at the G1C. My opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I would take a chance and an opportunity to see if he could bud into a flower compared to where they have him at right now, where the forest down there that's rocking a Sacramento Kings jersey, I think that flower's already budded. I think we know we're starting to kind of like with the Warriors. They're not landing, but I think they're coasting. They're just floating right now. And so my thing with that is I would rather take an opportunity and chance to go for something, because again, if we're being realistic, if you came into this season thinking the Kings were a championship contender, you should be ashamed of yourself, because they don't have everything that it takes to win a championship. You can see that. So what are we building? What we're talking about is building things. And with building those things, you either, as you said, create, an opportunity for a young player to be better, or you build on the skills that you have down there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I'm open to the Kuminga situation.
Is patience standing pat? Is that the way for the Kings to go right now? Is that the way for them to get where they want to get to as quickly as possible? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Right back with that. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that
can help us win in a variety of areas. Obviously, our top guys are going to play every game, but there's going to be other times, whether it's injuries, matchups, we've got to have, some variety on the bench for coach to point to and say, go in there and help us win.
Tune into every Kings game this season
on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's happening for the Chrysler's Wrap Up the Year sales event?
This month, you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs. With over 600 new Ram trucks available, your perfect new truck is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. Plus, no payments for 90 days.
And what about those brand new Dodge Hornets everyone's talking about?
This month, you can lease a new 2024 Dodge Hornet RT plug-in hybrid for only $199 a month for 27 months. That's over $5,500 in total savings.
Now's the best time to get the vehicle you need at Hoblet. Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
16,500 total net savings after 10,261 factory rebates and 6,239 dealer discount. Sample VIN 699991. Rebates include 1,000 case equipment cash. Must purchase qualifying case equipment from authorized dealer and 500 first responder cash for members of eligible first responder association only. No payment for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 5,500 total net savings after 2,000 factory rebates and 3,500 dealer discount. 27-month lease with 3,995 due at signing plus tax and license fees on approved credit through Ally Financial. 7,500 max miles per year, 25 cents per mile for excess miles. 20 of each net savings.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Kings are back in action tomorrow night. Hopefully Kyle Draper will be back with us tomorrow. Don't know yet. He's been a little under the weather. I want to point out that I really appreciate, and I know Jay does too, all the kind comments on the chat. People really enjoy hearing Jay, and I just want to, for what it's worth, a little peek behind the curtain. Like yesterday morning, as far as I know, Jay had no idea he's going to be on the air on top of everything else that he does. And you've heard, I mean, you're obviously doing a great job stepping right in, but it's kind of like that guy that, hey, you're playing tonight. What? Yeah. And, hey, you're getting called up, you're going to fly or whatever, and you're in the game tonight. And so Jay, not just me, but, some of the smartest viewers and listeners in radio appreciate it. It's been great being on the air with you. Hopefully Kyle's back tomorrow, but really appreciate everything that you're doing for us.
It's all good, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
No worries. And my boy Drape's got the bird flu. I know what happened. He just don't want to admit it. But we'll be able to talk to him about that bird flu. And it's not the bird flu that we all know is the bird flu. But he's got the bird flu for the Eagles birds.
Right.
He don't want to come in. I get it. The chest is hurting a little bit. Heart palpitating a little faster than normal. Got a slight headache on the left side. He got the bird flu there, Whitey.
As far as what he's been hearing from Niner fans, did he maybe just bite off a little more than he could chew?
Oh, that's a good question.
Before that game, in Philly?
I think he did what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
As a fan, I think he represented his squad to the best of his ability. I think he knew the reality of what was going to jump off, just like a bunch of the Eagles did. And I think they were on their Draymond, as much as Drapes was on the station talking about Debo and the 49ers crying about last year and all that. Well, what were they supposed to do? They cried about it last year. Then they came in and, they tap danced on all across Lincoln Financial that Sunday. And so, look, it's okay, Drapes. I know the flu's kicked in. The bird flu was kicked in for you.
Right.
You can come on home, brother.
Yeah.
It's all good.
By the way, and I know you don't want to talk about yourself, but for those who don't know, what are some of the markets you've worked in? You've worked in some big time. You've been in radio a long time.
Yeah, I have.
Atlanta?
Right? No, Houston.
Yeah,
so I've never been in anything. This is the smallest market I've ever been in. But I'm born and raised in South Sacramento. This is where I come from. This is what I love. But I've, always national networks, Fox, ESPN, CBS. I work with Jim Rome, so many different people that way, Stephen A. Smith, that type of situation at Fox. Sporting News, which is now Yahoo.
Okay.
At the time, Tim Brando's of the world, and those Troy Aikman. Speaking of Troy Aikman, I produced his show when he was doing a once a week show on Thursdays, 2 Live Stews, stuff like that. So, been in Los Angeles, been in Houston, been in the Bay Area, been here.
Sorry, I thought you were in Atlanta.
No ATL, no ATL. I love to visit the ATL though.
Yeah, well,
Lemon pepperoo style.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. No Kyle Draper. That's all right. We got Jay. So
bird flu, baby.
We appreciate it
the
very
bird
much.
Flu.
Yeah.
Have you talked to Drapes, by the way, about the bird flu?
I haven't.
Or you just let him be ill?
I figured
what he's telling us.
I heard that he was yesterday that he was, like legitimately in bed sick. So I didn't want to bother him.
All right.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
It could be that he got into bed to call, J. Ross and
jumped out.
Yeah. And then after he got the call, like, all right, let's go play golf.
We gonna find out. I know he wasn't on the Kings,
Right.
the Kings call last night on either way, pre or post or on the mic for play by play, but hopefully he does get better, definitely, because we don't want anyone sick. 'Tis the season.
Mm-hmm.
Tis the season for people to be sick right now.
So fingers crossed that he's back with
Stay
us
healthy.
tomorrow.
Stay safe, everybody.
Yeah. Kings against the OKC Thunder coming up, starting a 6-game homestand. The question is with the Kings, they've lost now, along with, including last night, I should say, was that 7 of their 9 losses have been one-sided. They're 0-2 in second game of a back-to-back. Second game of back-to-back, they're averaging 103 points, and they're giving up 126. So 13-9 record, as you know, is like, well, that looks pretty good, but there have been too many games in which they just haven't shown up. So does that mean anything? Does that mean that that's a clue to where they need to go in terms of shoring this thing up going forward? In general, as exciting as it is to talk about, maybe make a trade, this guy, that guy, I still think, big picture, I still think the best thing to do this year is to stay the course and not do anything dramatic that's going to cost you any future assets.
Agreed. I think if you can get better in the fact of spending some of maybe, not your major assets to get not someone's major asset, but something that you may be able to build into an asset here, if that makes sense.
People like your Kuminga idea, by the way, on the chat.
Really?
Well, because he's so athletic. I remember when he was a rookie with the Warriors and I was covering the Warriors, I would love to you could watch him go from on defense, going from the foul line to the midcourt line. He just moves different.
Yeah. I just don't think he's got an opportunity with the Dubs. And I get it. Look, it's hard to crack the lineup when you got Hall of Famers walking around every single day. And that's why I said you touched on something earlier. I'm not sure Steve Kerr trusts what Kuminga is going to bring to the table on a day in and day out, game log. And so I trust it a little more probably than he does. Who am I to say that? I'm not the coach. I'm not a general manager. I'm not that person, with the Warriors, but I like what he brings to the table. I think he would help the Kings, man. I really do.
Part of the problem, I think, for a guy like Kuminga is it's that question of how hard it is to develop when you're on a good team already.
Truth.
Because when you're on a team that's not very good, we'll let him play through his mistakes. When that team, literally, a couple of years ago, they're playing for a championship. It's got guys killing. We're trying to win. We can't have him out there. He's got to learn how to do that, but not when we're trying to win a championship. So,
but that's kind of how you learn, though, right?
I know, but it's like, which is more important, winning a championship or having him learn? The other thing with Kuminga specifically,
can't do both.
It's hard. It's tricky, and then that's a whole 2 timeline thing that the Warriors were trying to pull off, and they couldn't do it. Supposedly, Kuminga learned how to play basketball from watching Kobe. Like watching video of Kobe. And then so sometimes that's how he plays, which worked for Kobe. But in that Warrior system, a young guy coming in playing like that is like, that's not how we play. So that's been another thing that's been an adjustment for him.
Then when you get, my thing is then trust in your coaching staff, your development staff. Look, what's wrong with being like Kobe? As much as look, I don't want to pump no Laker here, but what's wrong with being like Kobe? If the gentleman copies the game of Kobe, and that's far-fetched to say that, but I get what he's trying to do. He wants to be great. He sees something, so he's trying to do that. Then help him out.
Yeah, the problem is, and it applies to the Kings too, which is why I'm bringing it up. The offense basically is oversimplification, but it's player movement. This is what Saint always says, Gary St. Jean. Player movement, ball movement. Kobe wasn't always about that. That's fine. Kobe was like, you give me the ball. The ball ain't once I get it, it ain't moving.
True.
And he was successful with that. But for a young guy to come in and kind of play like that and then learn that that's not how we play. It's not an easy adjustment for a guy that's like part of his basketball DNA.
Yeah.
It's a tough adjustment.
I agree with that, especially coming from where he came from of being the guy in college. So I understand that. I think he has something. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I do think he has some building potential. As you said with the Warriors, they're in a win mode now, and they've been in a win mode since the fact they won the first championship. And so infusing young talent sometimes doesn't work when the young talent's not on that same timeline, which is what you were talking about. And a lot of people have talked about with the Warriors having 2 different timelines, but I think they could infuse him a little more than what they've done. Same thing with Moody. I thought they could infuse a little more. Quite frankly, we really don't know what James Wiseman still is at this point. Still young enough to have an opportunity. I'll go back to Jermaine O'Neal. For like the first 6 years, nobody, whatever the Pacers had to plug and play, so it's like, okay, and he balled out. He did his thing. And so I think there's always hope when you're still in the front half of 25. Kuminga still is. Give him a shot. With the Kings, I think you almost would have to because of what you would give up. He would probably be, take the place of someone and he would have more opportunity. So that's why, look, one thing I know, Whitey, is this. People are talking about Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, Kyle Kuzma, Zach LaVine. Some of these names that are, John Collins is one of those guys. I've heard Lauri Markkanen been thrown out. Cats are pinning the tail on the donkey right now. We don't even know. We just throwing out names. Most of those guys, you're going to have to give up somebody to get those people.
And a lot of money.
And a lot of paper. Exactly.
Yeah.
Kuminga, bro, I'm not going to take a lot, Whitey. Throw it in the air. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know this, but it's possible that, the ownership sees him as their last vestige of, we knew we were building our future building blocks and we still have him. It's possible they don't want to part with him. I don't know if that's true. But I'll tell you who, Kuminga is one of the most interesting players on the Warriors. I'll tell you who I think the 2 most interesting players on the Kings are. Maybe, I'm not saying they're the best, but the 2 most interesting players, both of whom may hold keys to the Kings' short-term and long-term future when we come right back here. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay mainly clear tonight with overnight lows in the mid-30s. Tomorrow, look for sun, a few high clouds, and light winds with afternoon temperatures near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think Happy Honda Days. There's no better time to visit Elk Grove Honda than during our year-end clearance sale in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Dell's holiday event is one of their biggest sales of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Lowe's knows how to save pros time and money. Right now, save over $40 on a Werner 6-foot stepladder. Was $115, now just $69.98. And there's more. Get up to 30% off select kitchen cabinet orders. Visit us in-store or online for more deals you can't beat. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 12/7 to 12/13 on item number 98148. While supplies last. Minimum purchase and exclusions apply. See associate for details.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is an entertainment experience like no other. We're the only place where you can play blackjack, then hop on an indoor card track. We're the only place with more than 2,000 of the hottest slots and a state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and a resort hotel to stay after you play. Is it any wonder we've been voted best over 100 times? We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
Don't you just love this time of year and the holidays when families get together to make memories? Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. From the time I was a youngster, the family table was always filled with a gathering of grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters. Those are memories that will live with me forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now gives you the opportunity to find the perfect holiday gift that will last a lifetime. You'll find unique gifts like gleaming accessories for every room, now 20% off. During Naturewood's Holiday Home Sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now. The memories you make with your family will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Holidays at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you find the right customers. Spread awareness of your product or services. We can help build trust in your brand and services with a digital marketing campaign. Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing campaigns that deliver results. Don't wait. Get started today. Contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results. The Tribe Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Get right back to the phones in just a moment. It's Whitey, it's Jay today. Thank you for being with us. Hopefully, Drapes is back with us tomorrow. I'm going to give you the two most interesting players on the Kings roster right now in just a moment. I'm not saying they're the best. I just think in terms of what they could bring the Kings and what that could mean for their futures, for the Kings' future. Two fascinating players. But first, Willie has been hanging on. Let's go to Willie here. You're on with the Drive Guys. Willie, what's up?
Yeah, Whitey, y'all kept me on a long time, man. I appreciate that. Jay, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
Jay,
you calling them out, Will? My goodness, man.
We don't have to put you on all, Will, you know.
No, you, Jay, I like you, man, because you don't sugarcoat nothing. You don't make excuses, and you're logical, and you speak the truth. Here's the thing. Everybody knows the Warriors should have kept Jordan Poole. I mean, Draymond is a nut. We've been knowing that for 6-7 years. Draymond is crazy. He's crazy. He's got a screw loose, okay? Now, they lost the game last night by 3, right?
Yeah.
We lost by what? 21?
Yeah. Yes.
Something like that, right?
You're exactly right.
Why are we sitting all day worrying about the Warriors? They lost that game by 3 points, okay? I mean, we are the one, and then plus the Los Angeles, the Clippers played back-to-back just like we did.
Yes.
They were back-to-back just like we did. We need to put it all out there and tell the truth. We have guys who just can't defend athletic players. They can't do it. I mean, Herter and HB used to could do it, but he's long on the teeth now. His athleticism, you can see him, man. His athleticism is really, really, really going down now, man. He can't do the things he used to do. Every now and then he have a good game. But how you going to win a game when you got both of your small forwards? You got Herter, your shooting guard, and your small forward. They combined for 5 points. They combined for 5 points last night. Okay? Mm-hmm. And then let me finish this up. They got to use Kessler Edwards. He's 6'6", 6'8", on some of those athletic guys. I mean, you see guys not playing any defense, and he still sits on the bench the whole doggone game. Why is he on the team? And then you got the only physical guy on that team is Trey Lyles. I mean, I'm not saying you gotta be dirty like Draymond, but you gotta foul somebody hard sometime. If you're getting blown out by 20, and you ain't showing you're not showing you pissed off and you angry and you ain't making the game. Man, you can't just let people be making layups on you all day. I mean, the Clippers made a lot of layups, man. I mean, it was pathetic, man. It was sad.
Got you, Willie. Thank you. I think the key to me, the thing that really resonated from what Willie said was, it gets back to something Rick Adelman said years ago when he coached here. It's like, it's hard to have a really good defensive team if you don't have really good defensive players. You know, I mean, it's kind of simple. Sense. It's kind of where they are right now in a lot of ways. And Willie's right. And Mike Brown Mike Brown was listening, probably nodding his head, because Mike Brown wants them to play physical defense, not just play defense, play physical defense. Last night, the Clippers, it's like they probably didn't even know the Kings were there.
Yeah, they worked them boys. I mean,
that's a good team, though.
It's the truth. Said. Yeah, the Clippers are turning the corner. They have turned the corner. And Ty Lue, I go back to Ty Lue. I mean, Kawhi said he's going to play every game this year. And I laughed. Just as what you talked about. I like, man, you ain't playing every single game this year. Right. He's played 2 back-to-backs now.
Yeah.
2 back-to-backs.
And it looked like every game. It was Kawhi.
And not right. It wasn't like he played and only put up 12 points. He played and balled out. Mm-hmm. So you got to show him his love, if nothing else. I'm not sure he still plays every single game this season. I have to, see that to believe it. But when it comes to last night, the Kings and the Clippers, just what Willie said, and I think we said that a little earlier in the show, they just got slapped around. They got beat. You got to take the loss. You can't, we could point to probably 16 different variations, and, statisticians and analysts and analytic people, they're going to come up with defense variations and per and plus or minus. No, quite frankly, you just got beat. Clippers were a better team last night. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't even close. Like Willie said, you got jumped on by 21.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to accept it and move on. Hey, better luck next time. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
And it does seem, you and I discussed earlier, Jay, that Coach Brown, to an extent, he's still looking for answers from guys off the bench. He's looking for something that he's not quite finding night in, night out. So to Willie's point, the fact that Kessler Edwards last night, it was 8 minutes. It was garbage time. He shot the ball well. He had 7 points in 8 minutes on 3 shots. I'll bet you he's gonna, against the Thunder, I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the game a little sooner, if he has earned a shot. Just like remember Keon Ellis did when he played well in Houston. If maybe Mike Brown's going to say, all right, well, you're going to get a shot to see if you can build on that.
Yeah, true. I mean, there's some guys, and I'm anxiously waiting to hear your 2 most important people on the Sacramento Kings, if that's what the proper verbiage I'm saying.
Most interesting.
Most important.
Yeah.
Okay, most interesting, not important, but most interesting people. And I don't think one of them is Kessler, but he is interesting in the fact of, I would like to see if there is something else there. Now, as Emil Fergoso, our 49ers insider, says behind me, one of the things he definitely said, and I absolutely believe.
Christmas party. Why isn't he at the Christmas
party? Well, it's over. It's over, Hova.
Well, it's 4:40. Yeah, Emil leaves the party. It's over.
Very true. The point of it is he's not a very good shooter.
Emil?
No. Well, I don't know if Emil might got a jump shot. I don't know. I don't even know if he got the Penny Hardaway left or what. I don't know what he's providing. But the part of it is Kessler is not a great shooter, and inside the NBA right now, it pains me. But most people want you to shoot very well, right?
Yeah, you can't be a 3-and-D guy if you got no 3.
You can't. but you can be a defender,
right?
Like what happened just to
defenders? That's why he's on the team.
Yes.
That's really why they got him and why he's still on the team. To me, the most interesting guys on the Kings right now are Davion and Sasha, because both of them still have potential to be something. I think both of them should be more than what they are. Sasha, I think it's a matter of adjusting to the new country. We know that his game should fit if he can figure things out defensively. Davion is a guy that's got some value, but right now it looks like he may not be a fit here. And I like Davion. And I thought this year he's going to make his threes, and he's a little bit, but he's been inconsistent. We know he can defend. So what do you do with him? Does that mean he's going to get another chance? Have you decided he's probably not going to get a good fit here? Those 2 guys to me are really interesting, because I think both of them could still have a lot to do with what the Kings end up doing this year, whether they're here or not.
I think you're spot on. Those 2 are very Davion is interesting in the fact of, I don't know what his role is on this team anymore. I know for a fact that his confidence is down.
Sure.
I know, and you can see it, and that's a coaching staff, that's an organization thing, and that's a personal thing. And that has to change. I don't know how it changes, but it's just one of those things that needs to change. No one could be great if your confidence isn't great.
Right.
There aren't many people who feel like, I'm just average and are great.
Yeah. Right.
You have to believe you're great to be great for the most part. And so that's a great one with Davion. Sasha, coming into the season, Whitey, I didn't really know what to expect from Sasha. I didn't know what they were going to do with Sasha. Of course, I haven't done much film work, so I didn't, really get to see Sasha that much until
nobody did
lately.
Really.
Right.
We all saw a little bit.
Highlights, of course, right?
Yeah.
We've had people from Europe League, all the, Europe.net, EuropeHoop.net, all these different places come on and talk about Sasha, but I didn't know what he was going to bring. So, and I still don't know what what he brings to the table. Beside that, he's got the flick of the wrist. He can shoot.
Well, like you were saying about Kessler Edwards, he can shoot. That's the thing. He can shoot. But this team, this is why in the summer I was saying, I would be open to moving him.
Sasha?
Yes, because this team needs better defense. And that's one thing that he really struggles with in Europe. And, if you struggle with it in Europe, and I guess, some people say, he was all right. He was passable. But we don't need more guys here who can't defend. That's all.
So then with the Davion situation, I guess would befuddles most people looking at the Kings, overall situation is he can play defense.
Right.
And they're kind of like, well, he's not going to be on the floor because he can't shoot, or they don't believe he can shoot, or he can't shoot at a high clip, but he plays defense. And so the Davion thing I think has a lot of people puzzled because you don't really need him to shoot. You don't really need him to, shoot threes from a high clip. You don't need him to be 40% and over. You need the defense. And I think that's where you get a lot of Kings fans and a lot of listeners who jump on here at Sac Sports 1140. They question the situation, and that's why I said his confidence is down.
Yeah, it's too bad he's not 6'5", obviously. I mean, he's just a little smallish. There's a theory about him.
Dude plays great. Well, don't know, Whitey.
I know, but
Davion balls out on defense.
I know, but when you're, 6'2", when you're 6'2", there's nothing you can do about that.
Straight up.
There's an interesting theory about him, and Jerry may have mentioned this when Jerry was in last time. And this is just a theory. I don't know if the coaches or the team feels this way at all. Some people look at Davion because it's kind of a mystery, right? This guy was sought after. A lot of teams wanted him. He was a very successful college player and a national champion, and now he's not in the rotation. Some people think maybe this pace that Mike Brown wants the Kings to play at, maybe he's just not really comfortable at that pace. Not in the terms of he doesn't want to do it, but just maybe his game is a little more
half court.
So I don't know, but that's one thing people are wondering about because it is, like I say, it's kind of a mystery.
But what are we really expecting? Like, this is the thing for me. He's not set up, and he shouldn't be asked to be Malik Monk. He's not set up, and he shouldn't be asked to be Sasha. He should be asked to play defense.
I know a guy who can defend on this team. It should be
easy work.
Yeah.
And if you give me 6, 8, a game, I'm riding with that. Like, you're a backup point guard. And that it begins it. And Will made a good point. There's some people on this team who get a lot of run, and they're not producing. And you call it what you want. I'm not asking this dude to produce on the offensive side. I'm asking Davion to produce on the defensive side.
Yeah, but he's got to produce a little. I mean,
what's a little? That's what and that's the question I feel myself asking. What's a little? What are we asking? What's a little? 6 points? 10 points?
34%,
a couple assists?
34%
like, what are we looking
from
for?
the threes.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was threatening that, and then he fell off again. He had a couple good games where it looked like, all right, he's got it. I know he's worked really hard on it. And then there's also the disruptor, as a G-Man calls him, Keon Ellis. They like what he gives them more than they like some of the things they get from Davion. Who saw that coming? I did not.
Keon Ellis.
Yeah.
And he believed in it.
Yeah. When we come right back, since Emil's still around, we got to talk a little football. Tell you about CMC and how he's on the verge of a very, very rare feat. That's when we come right back here. The Drive Guys, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140, Sactown Sports.
The 49ers have secured their playoff berth, and now they chase the NFC's top seed.
Purdy out of the shotgun, looks left, throws end zone. Ha! George Kittle in the back of the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco.
Check out all the 49ers games with Greg Papa and Tim Ryan.
On your home for the playoff-bound 49ers. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides 24/7 compassionate support and connection to trained counselors. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, just call, text, or chat 988.
Subcontractors, grow your business with more leads and leverage your marketing costs to receive over 10 times the value in advertising. Subcontractors United is offering 40 home services contractors to join our advertising co-op. For under $2,100 a month, you'll share in over $83,000 a month in advertising. That's $1 million a year in advertising for under $2,100 a month. There's only 3 subcontractors per category, not 3,000, so lead potential is unlimited. Google Subcontractors United for more information.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
0 down with approved credit.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
It's Credit Christmas at Prestigio Jewelers. Get the gifts you want this year. Prestigio guarantees your credit up to $10,000. It's easy. Have a valid ID, proof of income, and be 18 or older. Prestigio has competitive pricing on all jewelry such as gold chains, wedding sets, diamond earrings, and designer brands like Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Rebuild your credit, even with a repo or a bankruptcy at Prestigio Jewelers. This Christmas, come for the credit and be amazed by the selection at Prestigio Jewelers. Online at prestigiojewelers.com.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
Then we're going to talk about Christian McCaffrey, and Jay pointed out to me, I didn't realize this, Christian McCaffrey on the verge of doing something very rare. By the way, Jay, I'm guessing you're not really a big candy guy. Do you like Kit Kats?
Kit Kats are all right. I can deal with it. I'm more of a sweet and sour man myself.
Okay, the reason I ask is because Kit Kats are really popular in Japan.
Okay.
Apparently, Kito Kato is Japanese for like good luck or something. So when the Kit Kat came out, and in Japanese, they would call it Kito Kato. And people were like, oh, it's like the good luck bar. This is great. So they're really popular, and they have 1 million flavors. And we brought some back. And we brought back some apple Kit Kats. Oh. And I was going to, I don't have them today, but
I'll try that, brother. Yeah. Sign me up.
Yeah, they have sake,
Okay, you
they
keep
have
that.
green tea.
I'll try all that one.
Strawberry cheesecake.
I'm with all of that right there,
all
brother.
that, yeah.
Sign me up on that.
Yeah. Wait, I got to ask, because you were in Japan.
Emil Fregoso, yeah.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Yeah.
I got to ask, though, because you were in Japan, and the Japanese are known for their commercials. What was the best commercial you saw on television? Did you see any at all that kind of stuck out?
I didn't watch a ton of TV. I did notice that Shohei and Ichiro are very popular in commercials, advertisements all over the place.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But I didn't catch a lot of that.
Because I know the candy commercials, especially, they get really animated and really into it. So
Yeah.
Hito Kato, I didn't know that.
Hito Kato. And I think it means good luck. So the Apple ones, I got to tell you, Jay, I think they're horrible.
What?
And I like.
Are they the same color?
Yeah, and
It's
it's
still
chocolate,
chocolate?
but it's
Okay.
the apple flavor.
It's
And
infused.
I thought this is going to be good because the strawberry ones are good, a cherry, and it's like, oh, I don't know. It just.
What do you think? It's like a caramel apple? Like, what do you think it would taste like?
Just kind of a sweet. Yeah, I like apples. Kind of a little bit of a chocolatey, like a dipped apple, chocolate dipped apple. But it's, I don't know, something doesn't work. But I'd be interested to see what you think. So I'll bring those in. And for what it's worth,
pleasure.
Emil noticed I have the Okinawa Kings shirt on.
dope.
It's dope.
Yeah. And it says Beams on it, and I don't know why it says Beams. I don't know.
It's a beam team worldwide,
I don't
baby.
know. Maybe so.
You
Maybe
ask?
so. No.
You're just wearing something you just don't know what it is, Whitey?
Well, it was.
Careful now.
What you represent?
It's a good question, but I had to pick and choose what I asked because I didn't always know what I was asking. and
Okay.
I didn't always know what I was.
I respect that. I could dig that. I could dig that.
The language barrier got you sometimes.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it did. I want to thank Jay because he brought this up. Emil, our 49er insider, and he's getting ready for Return of the Empire. He didn't know this, Jay.
I did not.
Jay pointed out that Christian McCaffrey is on the verge of becoming just the fourth guy, and it's only happened 5 times, I guess, but the fourth guy to lead the league in rushing every week, all the way through the season.
That's incredible.
From week 1 all the way
Because
through.
he's had a couple down weeks, less than 100 yards. I'd say down less than 100 yards rushing per week.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
But
That
he got off
he's,
such a great start that,
so
at the end of every week, the leading rusher has been Christian
Oh,
McCaffrey.
okay. I thought
Yeah.
each week, like rushing yards, you meant that he had like more rushing yards than anyone every single week. Okay, so total. That makes more sense.
Only 3 rushers have led the NFL in
Yeah.
rushing every week since the merger in 1970. Emmitt Smith, Walter Payton, and OJ actually did it twice.
Wow.
So
OJ was a special talent though back in the day. He was.
Yeah.
There was
So-
a joke to be made there, but we just let
We're
that
gonna
go.
slide right through there. Yeah, let's not go there.
That's one of the things,
Keep it a PG.
I'm older than both of you. Jay and I are a little older than you, I think, but I like sometimes on YouTube, Jay, I like to go back and just look at you were talking yesterday, I think, about Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
You don't have those kind of rushers anymore in the NFL. And I understand that.
No one was
but
Barry though.
Some of those guys, like Dickerson and OJ.
Dorsett
And,
Yeah.
They're incredible.
Well,
and they all have different styles.
Yes.
Well, Bo was my guy. Bo Jackson's my guy. That's
Oh,
one of the greatest running backs I've ever seen, even in
Absolutely.
highlight. Like, if not for that hip injury, I think he'd go down as one of the all-time greats. Like, not even underrated. Like, I
He
think
already is.
Well, yeah. I think he had the numbers though. He
Yeah.
had the numbers to back him up more. So
Yeah. And he's a good outfielder, too.
Yes, he was.
multi-sport athlete like Dion.
Emil, what did you think of what Cam Newton had to say about Brock Purdy? This is from Cam was on a podcast today.
It's on his own.
On his own.
He does 4th and 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
His podcast is 4th and 1.
All right. Here's Cam talking about Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy, Tua Tagovailoa, Jared Goff, and really, Dak Prescott. These are game managers. They're not difference makers.
When you say game manager, I'm not asking you to go out and win the game. I'm just asking you not to lose.
Not to lose the game. Exactly.
What do you think, Emil? Cam should know better. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not going to do that. Look, Cam Newton was a special talent.
Yes.
That 2015 Panthers season when he took him to the Super Bowl with Ted Ginn Jr. as his number 1 receiver and Devin Funchess, who, respectfully, not the best wide receivers in the last 10 years. Still, Cam Newton was a generational talent, one of the best athletes I've ever seen at the quarterback position. At the same time, Cam also forgets that the last 2 years with the Patriots, he could barely throw 5 yards down the field. So, Cam, it feels respectfully like a little bit like a cry for help. Like you still want to be relevant. And all love to you, Cam Newton. You were a very, very talented player. But Brock Purdy is much more in the game manager. That throw that he made to Brandon Ayuk deep downfield where he had to scramble out, go to his left, and then just chuck the thing. He threw that ball so Brandon could get open.
Yeah, just turn it all back together. Christian McCaffrey this year, his receiving numbers are actually down. And
for him.
Yeah, from what they were last year.
Yes.
They're still, I think he's still leading the league, but they're down from what they were. And somebody asked Matt Barrows that. Matt Barrows said one of the reasons is because Brock Purdy doesn't throw it to the running back. He takes shots downfield because he sees the
number one explosive pass rate this season, Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
All the people who say he can't throw downfield. Just saying.
Where are you on all that, Jay?
Man, love Cam. Appreciate what he's brought to the game. As you just said, Emil, Cam was super special in the seasons that he was healthy. Last couple of years he hasn't been. His completion percentage is 60% and under throughout his career. Should tell you that there were some things that he was lacked and deficient. The fact of the matter is, I get what he's trying to say with like Tua. He's calling them system quarterbacks, game managers, but as you said, Emil, and you, Whitey, Purdy's not that yet. He hasn't shown and proved to be that. Of course, he had to come in the season, the last 6 games, I believe it was the last 6 games, right? Last year.
Yes.
He's basically played one full season.
Right.
Correct.
Exactly. He had to come in and be a game manager. That's what they asked him to be.
Correct.
Right? Like, please come in and be a game manager.
Do not lose us the game.
Don't lose the game. Now he's being asked to do way more than that.
Yes.
And it's not, don't lose us this game. It's like, we need you to be a part of this to win the game.
And the play calling is reflecting that.
Absolutely. You're spot on. And so I think Brock doesn't fall into that. I would also say Dak doesn't fall into that. I think Dak has way too much on his shoulders to be a game manager. Now, Tua, I'll take the argument. I think he falls as a system quarterback.
Yeah.
And the other one was, who did he say? I forgot. Oh, Jared Goff. Yeah.
Goff, I get to.
Yeah, I get it. But, that's a different ball game up there in Detroit. They kind of they put their hands on that offense anyway, of kind of more game management anyway.
They have so many explosive players.
Yeah,
Detroit,
they do.
Especially.
Yeah. Purdy's just, the one thing about all this, fellas, for me with Purdy, it's like the Draymond kind of. And this is why I think Draymond gets a lot of hate too.
What?
Yeah, right. Exactly. He's causing it on himself. But it's tough when so many people miss on Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost kind of like you got to create a narrative of why we didn't take Brock Purdy.
Yeah, right. Man.
And the 49ers, they're culprits of that as well. They passed on it, whatever.
How many times?
And the easiest explanation to your point, obviously, is he's not that good.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? No one expected this. No one saw this. He's not that good. He's a game manager. We have to put Debo into everybody else. What you got, Emil?
And Frankie, let me flip that. Brock Purdy is so damn good this season, especially, that the narrative has changed on what it takes to win the MVP. He has to have a bad coach. He can only have one weapon. He can only have this. He can only have that. He's been so good this year for the Niners that the narrative has changed on what the criteria is to win an MVP.
Yeah, that was a great point. One mistake you made, you called him Frankie. But other than that, it was a
Oh, did I?
I thought he said frankly, let me.
I said frankly. I said
Okay.
frankly.
That's on me then.
Yeah. I thought I was tripping for a second.
All right, NFL, you overseeing the Brock Purdy greatness from Emil right there, brother.
I've been on the Brock Purdy greatness, though, since the preseason against Green Bay. When I've talked to Fred Moore, he said, I'm a Brock Purdy guy. I kind of knew right then and there that he was one of those guys they really, really loved. And while he was when he went into that Dolphins game, he had not played with the first team since training camp. And he still executed and still won that game for them, helped them win that game.
When we come back, I'm going to ask Jay to help us with something. Jay, it's that time of year, end of the year. We're talking about the biggest sports stories of the year. I want to see if we and Emil and listeners will come up with candidates for the sports story of the year. All right. Oh, hold on. We have breaking news here. Pardon me. Breaking news. Is this a confirmed source? This is from
Woj. Yes.
Woj. Draymond Green, go ahead.
Draymond Green has been suspended indefinitely by the NBA.
Wow.
Draymond Green suspended indefinitely by the NBA. We just found out.
Breaking
news. Wow. So we'll come back and tell you what that means and where the Warriors go from here with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown. CMC.
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If you're making the minimum payments, but your balance is just not going down, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it will take years to get out of debt, call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 5 million people. They can consolidate your debts into one lower payment, reduce your interest rates, and get you out of debt fast. If you're struggling with credit card debt, call Consolidated Credit now.
Call now, 800-552-6750. That's 800-552-6750. 800-552-6750.
Consolidated Credit Counseling Services Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Not a loan company licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM 19, Oregon DM 80031. Licensed by Virginia State Corporation. Commission license number DC 32. Establishment of a plan may adversely affect the individual's credit rating or credit scores. Non-payment of debt may lead creditors to increase financial charges or collections activity, including litigation.
Hey there, listen up, Sacramento. Ready to make this holiday season unforgettable? Well, we've got something that'll have you jingling all the way. Picture this, a brand new 2024 Kia Forte LXS for only $279 per month plus tax with no money down. No, I did not stutter. No money down. That's right. Zip, zero, nada. Elk Grove Kia is spreading the joy this Christmas, and we're making it easier than ever for you to drive home in style. So why wait? I will say it again. Head on down to Elk Grove Kia and drive home your new 2024 Kia Forte LXS today with absolutely no money down. Elk Grove Kia is your go-to destination for top-notch quality and unbeatable service. Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or go to elkgrovekia.com. $279 plus tax, zero customer cash, signing residual of $10,000 per 250 days and 10K per year, 26 per mile over 0 security. Kia 01 prior step
Elk Grove Kia.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet Arch Support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
This is Jeff Scott. Did you know there's a way to outsmart COVID if you get it? Now, there are medicines that can treat COVID whether or not you've been vaccinated, which is great news, especially if you're over 50. If taken in the first 5 days of having symptoms, COVID medicines can help stop the illness from getting serious. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to learn more about COVID medicines. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
God, I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays. Uma. What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Whitey Gleason, Emil Fragoso, of course, Jay with us today. Kyle Draper has a day off, hopefully back tomorrow. We are just digesting the breaking news that we found out moments ago. Woj on Twitter, X, pardon me. Quote, ESPN sources, the NBA is suspending Golden State's Draymond Green indefinitely. Wow. End quote. And to this point, that's all the information. that we have. So we're getting a lot of questions on the chat, of course. What does this mean? Is he still in the league? What it means to me is the league recognizes this is serious. We have to do something. We have to make sure people know that we recognize it's serious, but we're not exactly sure what to do.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It's a recurring problem. That's what it sounds like to me, is that this is a problem. We have 6 incidents in the last 18 months of Draymond Green.
Right. Very serious.
It's a pattern now. It's no longer just a one-off incident like John Morant where he had this and this. There is multiple times with multiple different people, multiple different teams, including his own with Jordan Poole, that he has had a problem with. So they have to deal with this now.
Yeah, and when you just had the choking with Gobert, and it wasn't that long ago, and he was suspended, and then right after that, I don't know, Jay. It sounds to me like they're thinking of doing something serious. They're just not sure that's the right thing right now.
Yeah, I think he gives them time. I think the indefinitely word says time.
I do have some updates from Shams sources. Golden State Draymond Green is expected to receive counseling and work with the Warriors and NBA while suspended after striking Phoenix Suns' Yusuf Nurkic in the head on Tuesday night. He has met the criteria before a return. He has to meet the criteria before he returns to play. Right. So he's going to have counseling and work with the NBA and the team as well.
Which is, and that's why I said it sounds good, meaning the indefinitely word.
Yes.
The fact of the matter is with that being said, he could do that, and we saw that with John Morant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last year, he could be back in 5 games, but it's a lot of verbiage. There's a lot of working things to that, but that doesn't really give me any sustained accountability of how he's going to be reprimanded.
Yep. Per the league office, he will be required to meet certain league and team conditions before he returns to play. This is from the NBA communications department. Just put it
Put it out.
Right.
Yep.
So a lot of that is the NBA is just trying to cover their behind and show that this is bad, but we're being responsible about it.
Correct.
We care about the player. Of course, they never say this, but also we want to get him back on the floor as soon as possible because he and the Warriors are good for business.
The villain is good for business. Draymond the villain is good for business, but not Draymond the thug.
Exactly.
There's a line here, and Draymond unfortunately has crossed it the last few months.
I want to say that I hope that they actually are able to help him, but if that's not really the ultimate goal, if they don't really care about that, and given how, look, that's got to be, I'm not a therapist or anything, but look at his history. Can you imagine how deep-rooted whatever is driving him to do these things must be? And you think over the course of a month or whatever, they're going to be able to figure that out? I would like to think so, but I doubt it.
No, absolutely not. And I think that's part of it. And that's why I said there's a word indefinitely can be tomorrow. It can be next year. And so you're just throwing that out there. It's not a given time. We're not putting a timestamp on it. Quite frankly, we're going to find out. We're going to find out in the fact of, is this, like I've seen it a couple times on our text line, we've heard it plenty of times. Draymond's not really that dude. He's a fake thug. He's the type of cat that does that on the NBA. And I said that earlier, that's a skill. I think that is something that the NBA has kind of transformed to the fact of being a tough guy is a skill. Because there's not that many that go around anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think Draymond has leaned on that as being a skill. The other part of that too is though, it's just kind of what you're saying, Whitey. And again, I go back to the Ja Morant situation. We heard that last year with Ja. Go through the whole physical, the psychological situation,
right?
The therapist, counseling and all that. Look, please do that.
Mm-hmm.
Please do that. Absolutely.
But really do it.
Do it. Help yourself. But it also gives the NBA a caveat. It's like a cop-out for me. It gives them a caveat to say, well, we said we suspended him. We said we were going to help him. But, when we kind of see fit or you kind of cross the T's and dotted the I's a little bit, come on back and play. Kind of what you're saying, Emil, the entertainment value.
A lot of it is, you would think, unfortunately, a lot of this is for appearances.
Of course.
This allows indefinite. This is very serious. It's an indefinite suspension. And we're going to require he and the Warriors to do this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
So it makes it look like they are doing more than perhaps they will. I'd love to see them get some things done here. But as somebody on the chat points out, it's going to be tough for the Warriors to back Draymond here. Not now. Not if it's like, oh, you know what? We're helping him.
Yes.
We're helping Draymond.
Yeah, it's easy to do that.
It's a caveat. Give him a cop-out.
Yeah.
The league and the Warriors,
Yeah.
We talked about that today, Whitey, is one of those things is, if you really want to be a parent, we put the metaphor, analogy of being a parent and grandparents. If you really want to, give Draymond a spanking, you want to, give him, he's got to be disciplined. then you would have put your foot in the sand. I still think this is kind of one of those things like, look, we're going to help him. We want to help him. We know he should be suspended, but we'll let him come back, after so many games. And I think when this happened with Ja, he came back after 8 games.
Correct.
Was it 8 games?
It was 8 games.
Yeah.
And then he had the second incident.
Yes.
Right.
So I don't want to say, what the counseling didn't help, because I hope it did. It should have. But when it was after 8 games, we were all like, ho hum. What happened?
It was also a different circumstance because Ja Morant's a much younger player, a bigger star for them than Draymond is right now. And there wasn't a history, a pattern like there is with Draymond in terms of this stuff on the court. Ja was more off the court issues. And like you said, Jay, Draymond's been really good at harnessing that villain aspect and using it to his advantage. But the last few years, he's kind of let his emotions boil over and get the best of him. So it's
it's gotten more worse.
It's kind of a curse, frankly, for him right now. Of like, you got to keep the villain in check to like use it to your advantage, but he has been able to, and that's the problem here for the NBA.
That was one thing years ago. People used to ask. I think Carmichael Dave threw this out. Hey, what's the difference between Draymond, who the NBA loves? Again, this is going back a few years, and DeMarcus Cousins. And I always thought, you know what, Cuz was like paranoid. He had a persecution complex, and he. Sometimes he couldn't control it. Whereas Draymond was more controlled. I don't know if that was right, but whether it was or not, it's pretty clear to your point right now. Draymond's not necessarily in control of whatever it is that's driving him to do these things.
And more from Woj coming out right now. Draymond, Warriors GM Mike Dunleavy, Green's agent Rich Paul, Clutch Sports are expected to meet on Thursday to start discussing a path of counseling and help for Draymond to move forward. The league did not want to put a specific number on the suspension, but allow Green to take the time he might need to deal with the challenges he's facing.
Yeah, it's interesting. The whole tenor of this is not so much, we're going to crack down on this guy's. He needs help. He's one of ours, and we're going to help.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not opposed to helping anybody.
I'm not either.
That's part of
as long
the
as
situation.
It's genuine.
Yes, exactly. I think Draymond may need some help. I don't know him, so I don't know. I'm just saying from the outside looking in, he probably does need some stability in his life when it comes to on the court situations. The other part of that too, though, is that's again, man, and I don't want to keep going to that. That's not how life works a lot of times.
Oh,
rules and regulations, man. As E40 say, these are the rules and the regulations. You broke them.
Yeah. And
you got to face the chin music sometimes.
And they allowed Draymond to walk that gray line for a long time, and now he can't. Now he can't.
I think another key point, and Kyle Ledbetter just mentioned this, and I know he's getting ready to run the next show. But for the NBA now, when they suspend somebody, Mark Cuban said this years ago, and I think it's absolutely true. Anytime a pro sports league they take action against somebody, part of it is about appearances. Like for the sponsors, we want everyone to know that we're responsible. We care about these things. We really only care about making money in the game, but we got to make it look like we care about being responsible. So the NBA isn't sure, how do people feel about this? An indefinite suspension allows them to put their toe in the water a little bit. How upset are people, fans, potential sponsors, the networks? How do they really feel about it? Let's wait till we find that out before we decide how many games we're going to suspend them.
That's okay. I mean, I can respect that. I can definitely understand, you want to assess the situation before you lay the law down. I get that part of it. And they're also coming from the angle of, look, he needs help. We're giving him assistance. We're providing the basis of giving him, all the assistance in the world. And we're not just going to come down and slap him across the wrist because we don't know how deep mentally this goes. But let me also say this.
Yeah.
That's a transition from what the league has kind of operated on with Draymond.
It's a 180.
Yes. So if that's the case, then maybe we should see that in other parts of it. Maybe, guess what? Maybe we should see that from officials when they tee up people and throw them out the game. Well, maybe he had a rough day that day. Maybe, he had a death in the family. Maybe someone's ill in his family and he's mentally going through something and he's trying to perform through his job. We can all say that every single day. So I'm not saying it's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad to assist and help, but I'm also saying, listen, and I've said this, I'm a Draymond apologist. I like what Draymond brings to the table on the floor in many instances, but I can also respect and accept when he does some stupid stuff. You gotta take the heat, right? And I think this is letting him off the hook a little bit, despite the fact that he may need some mental help. some mental assistance, some stability in his life. I want to make sure I say that.
Yeah,
please get all of that help.
Clear.
Yes,
I
please.
gotcha. I understand.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
please.
I'm with you.
Please get that.
You want to be responsible about it. But it's just there's something about this that it's hard not to be a little skeptical of the ultimate motives. I as you're talking there about the officials need to be more sensitive to players. I mean, maybe if the players union has their way, someday there will be counselors. So if the official calls a foul and the guy's a hard time, hold on. We have timeout. We need to have counseling for the player before we continue. But in all seriousness, here's what I wonder about this. Given what the NBA is deciding to do, and they're going to get him counseling, and why hasn't this already been done? If the problem is this serious, and we know it's gone on a long time, at least since 2016.
Yeah.
Why did the team not already do this?
Correct.
Right?
Because they're afraid of Draymond.
Oh, I think they are.
Steve Kerr's definitely afraid of Draymond. Come on now. Let's be real here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you see the video of Kuminga? Like when Kuminga scored a bunch of points the other night, and I think he had that lob dunk from Draymond, and Draymond went to dap him on the bench, and he flinched.
Mm-hmm.
Kuminga flinched. Like full-fledged was scared of Draymond at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
That tells you all you need to know.
Jay, I know I'm sorry, we're a little late. We'll take a very quick break. We'll come back with more on Draymond's indefinite suspension. And we need to check in on the NBA's two biggest losers. A big night for both of them. We'll do that when we come right back here. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted! Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner!
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Golf Digest sins of slow play suggest precious time is wasted waiting for your turn to hit. If you're on the other side of the fairway, you can take your practice swing while someone else is playing their shot. And if you're walking, when you get to the green, leave your bag closest to the next tee box. Golf is social, but tell your great story while you're walking the fairways and not on the tee box or putting green. Next, don't be delusional. If there's only a remote chance of reaching the green or clearing a hazard, just lay up. The group behind you will love you for it. If you have to take a call, move away, and maybe even sacrifice your involvement in the hole to keep things moving. And last is not hitting the ball. PGA Pro Mike Bender wrote golf's 8-second secret and argues that the time from when you set your lead foot, step over the ball, and swing to finish should take 8 seconds, but most take twice that long with practice swings, waggles, and whatnot. For a bogey golfer, that's an extra 12 minutes times 4 golfers. Remember, golf is a game. Have some fun, but do it expeditiously. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
0 down with approved credit.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
What an afternoon. We spent a lot of the afternoon talking about what the NBA should do for or to Draymond Green after he got ejected again last night. And then earlier this hour, word came down, Woj tweeting that the NBA is suspending Draymond Green indefinitely, and he will not be reinstated until, according to the league, some of the details are still a little fuzzy on this, until he and the Warriors meet some established criteria. What those are, we don't know yet, but we've been talking a lot about this and about how it seems to represent kind of a 180 from the league, because rather than cracking down on Draymond Green now, I mean, they are suspending him, which obviously is a form of discipline, but it also looks like they're reaching out to Draymond and they're trying to get him the help he needs. And again, assuming that that's genuine, I applaud them, and it's about freaking time.
Yeah, and that's why I said it's kind of a cop-out for the league in the form of this hasn't been the precedent that has been set. It's not a cop-out when it comes to helping him mentally. There's two kind of variations to this for me, and that's why the word indefinite, is kind of like, okay, I get where you're going, because it's almost, and Whitey, it's like this. You're a parent of two young ladies, beautiful young ladies. Have you been so mad at your child and you're like, you know what? If I discipline them now, it's probably going to be a problem. Let me just sit back, cool off real quick.
I did that as a coach, not to my daughter, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
As a coach once.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so it's like, you know what? If I go at it right now, it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
Let me take a step back, assess the situation,
right,
and then proceed. Cooler heads prevails, right? What people talk about. And so
you don't want your anger to cloud your judgment.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfectly said.
Yeah.
Just what you said.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the NBA is doing for me with this. But we saw the precedent. Now I'm going to the precedent that was set last year with Ja Morant. Off the court versus on the court is a little different. Ja Morant had some things happen off the court. I can understand that a little more than the things that are happening on the court.
I'm sorry, when you say you can understand, you mean you can understand
meaning like
what is it you understand exactly?
I can understand why they assessed Ja Morant's situation off the court, because we were talking about guns, we were talking about harmful situations, we were talking about the group that he carried around him, his community, meaning his close-knit family. Like, those are things that in reality, I always say I'm a product of my environment. Those things can be assessed and helped. And I'm not saying you can't do that. You can't cross that line on the floor. But I'm also saying some of these things, and he said it himself, are antics. Some of these things are kind of forced. Some of these things are, you know what, I'm flailing. I'm doing this. I'm doing, and again, I pointed out, to me, what Draymond does is a skill in NBA right now.
Let me see if I understand you. And I'm not
making
a judgment one way or the other. I want to see if I understand you. It sounds to me like you're suggesting what Draymond's getting counseling for is something that he really should be able to control himself.
Some of the things.
Is that kind of where you're going?
Yeah, exactly. Because he's admitted to, he said it last night. Listen, I'll come up here and apologize if it's very genuine and I know what I did and it was wrong. Hence why he apologized to Nurkic.
Right.
We also understand there's times where he means to do it. And he said that same thing last night. He was like, look, I was trying to sell the foul. I've also said I don't think he meant to hit Nurkic in the head region of where he hit him, on the jaw, the face, the ear, whatever you want to call it. I thought he meant to make contact and, like you said, sell the foul.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, why do we need therapy for that?
I understand what you're saying. If let's say we were in the league office and we were having that discussion, do we suspend him or not? What I would counter to that is, you may be right, but after the stomp on Sabonis's chest and the way he went after Gobert, last night just kind of put me in a position where, okay, now I got to do something I didn't want to do. Last night, I'm with you. That was weird, but those two things, going after Rudy Gobert, choking him where you could have really hurt him, that was really violent, and then stomping on Sabonis. And those are the two things where I'd say, you know what, we probably should have done something sooner. Those things to me suggest that we need to address this. I could be wrong.
So then do that thing.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Then do that thing.
Why in the world has it gotten to this point?
Right.
Before they decided, counseling would be in order.
Yeah. Which hopefully he's already been in the format, seeking assistance and help.
Well, that's probably it, right? I mean, you can't really, it's like when you have an intervention, somebody's going to the person at some point has to decide, okay.
Yeah.
And if Draymond probably now is like, look, we've got you. You're going to have to agree to this or we're going to suspend you for the whole season. All right, I'll agree to it. So maybe that was part of it.
Well, it may be, and that's a great point. I get what you're saying. No one's going to get help until they want help themselves.
Right.
I completely understand and agree with that. I just, for me, I think it's part of the situation when it comes to the entirety of Draymond as we've come to know it. And as you said, as of lately, 2 years ago, he probably catches a suspension and moves on. Compared to now, we're saying, well, you know what? Mentally and, physically, spiritually, emotionally, we probably need to help you. No, we should have been doing that in the beginning, right? And I'm not saying you can't change that. I'm not saying you can't understand and recognize is what you're saying. Look, things change the way of our point of view. I totally get that. I'm just saying, if that was the case, we could have did this a little sooner.
I agree.
We could have did this a lot sooner and helped that individual a lot sooner.
And to me, no one recognized how this has escalated. Could be a total misread because I'm not an expert on this, but you go back to 2016, he's kicking people, in the ball rack. Well, that's a dirty play.
Yeah.
There are dirty players. That's a dirty play. But even when 2016, when LeBron stepped over him and he flicked him, it's like, yeah, you can't do that. But that's not like, I understand why he did it, right? But you go from there to, as we say, choking Gobert, stomping on somebody's chest. And you mentioned it earlier. The weirdest thing about Draymond, the scariest thing is those instances where he's been thrown out of a game in Memphis and where he just marches around the arena, like baiting the crowd. That's like, whoa, that's somebody at that point should have recognized, okay, I think we're not just talking about kicking somebody. That's more than a dirty play. That's somebody who's got some stuff going on upstairs.
Absolutely. And so, I mean, what that all entail now, the word indefinite, for the league, I appreciate the fact that they took a step back and they're assessing the situation. And all hands are on deck for Draymond now, including himself. Kudos to Draymond. Kudos to Rich Paul, Clutch, the Warriors, NBA, everybody that's in the Players Union, everybody that's associated with the fact of this gentleman getting some help. All for that. Second part of that is, with this precedent being set now twice, the Ja Morant situation, albeit it's off the court stuff, now we're seeing it with Draymond with on the court stuff. I would like the league to be a little bit better in recognizing these situations. I need the league to be a little bit better in assessing these situations, and I need the league to be a little bit better on standing on some of their things, I guess some of their viewpoints of how they want this league to be operated, because you've talked about it all day. A lot of this is entertainment. And now we're saying this gentleman has some issues that we need to work through. But for the longest, you've been letting this go because of the entertainment and the money value and everything else. NBA, man, you got to be better than that. Yeah. And I'm not opposed to saying that.
Yeah. So what's at stake for the league in terms of credibility here when you have these two high-profile cases that they're stepping in now in terms of disciplining players? What's really at stake for the league? How important is it for them to make sure they get these right? We'll return with that here with Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers have owned the NFC West this season, and they look to take out their division rival Arizona on Sunday.
It's an end around to Deebo Samuel coming right, turns the corner, and goes into the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
The 49ers and Cardinals Sunday at 1 from Arizona on your home for 49ers football, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay mainly clear tonight with overnight lows in the mid-30s. Tomorrow, look for sun, a few high clouds, and light winds with afternoon temperatures near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's Kia's season of giving back at Folsom Lake Kia. Get low year-end prices and payments, plus low finance rates and even zero down deals with approved credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
This holiday season, visit Boot Barn for top quality gifts that pay tribute to the lasting heritage of the West. From handcrafted cowboy boots and American-made felt hats to hand-stitched leather jackets, our in-store experts will help guide you as you shop, assisting with boot fitting and providing complimentary hat shaping. This holiday, share a piece of the American spirit. Boot Barn. Unwrap the West.
We can be heroes.
You've seen Cody Lee not once, but twice on America's Got Talent. And now is your chance to see him live at Gold Country Casino Resort.
Remember we together.
Get your tickets now to see America's Got Talent winner, Cody Lee, January 20th at 8 p.m. Only at
Casino Resort.
This show is open to all ages.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill is turning me into a pro. Napoleon Grills has features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just go to Napoleon.com for your nearby Napoleon Grills dealer. Napoleon Grills. Now is the time for the best selection of grills and fine accessories for the holidays.
Dell's holiday event is one of their biggest sales of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Lowe's knows how to save pros time and money. Right now, save over $40 on a Werner 6-foot stepladder. Was $115, now just $69.98. And there's more. Get up to 30% off select kitchen cabinet orders. Visit us in-store or online for more deals you can't beat. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 12/7 to 12/13 on item number 98148. While supplies last. Minimum purchase and exclusions apply. See associate for details.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Big news this afternoon is that the NBA is suspending Draymond Green indefinitely for getting thrown out of the game last night against the Suns. Of course, it's the third time he's been thrown out this year. Here is the official statement from the NBA communications, and it doesn't tell us much, but for what it's worth, Warriors forward Draymond Green has been suspended indefinitely for striking Yusuf Nurkic in the face. It was announced today by Joe Dumars, Executive VP, Head of Basketball Operations. This outcome takes into account Green's repeated history of unsportsmanlike acts, and then they review what happened last night, and then finally, Green's suspension will begin immediately. He will be required to meet certain league and team conditions before he returns to play. So it's Whitey Gleason, Jay Johnson in today with Kyle hopefully returning tomorrow. But Jay, as we talked about yesterday, we talked about Ja Morant, and the league now is, trying to figure out when Ja comes back, how they handle that. And now you've got another player suspended and going into counseling. Don't you think it's vitally important that these situations both end up in obviously positive outcomes, or else the league loses so much credibility if they botch both of these things?
Oh, absolutely.
Or even one of them.
Yeah. I mean, come on now. Their reputation, I don't want to say is on the line here, but their reputation is definitely going to take a strike or a hit.
Yeah.
You have to.
When you're negotiating a new TV deal.
Yeah, very true. And I mean, we've come to understand and know over, the last 10 years or so, mental health is something that has not always been, verified when need to be, over the last whatever, so many years prior to the last 10 years. And it's something that a lot of people have honed in on, is bettering yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and
whereas before it used to be, suck it up.
Right, exactly.
For athletes.
Exactly. Be quiet, do it, be tough, have a mental toughness that no one else should have, and move on and play. And so we've come to find out that's not that's not reality. These people, these players and athletes are going through the same thing. They're human beings, the same thing that everybody else around them is going through. And so I applaud the league for doing that wholeheartedly, man. And but to answer your question, I do think there is something to be said if these, and it's on the I want to say the players, but Ja and Dre first. It's on them first. And so I can't blame the league if something goes wrong with one of those people personally, right? But at the same time, I just feel that the league did a disservice with Draymond by allowing him to be, off the hook for so long. It really has just been so long that they could have jumped in and tried to, be something of a median in between of what's going on over the last 3 years for Dre.
Yeah, and I agree with you, but I would blame more the team, I think, than the league, because the team has been, if anyone knows what's going on with them, it's the team. But if this all ends up with them helping him, maybe the ends justify the means. But it's an interesting time for the NBA again, against the background of trying to negotiate a new deal. So the image of the league obviously is so vitally important, because they're trying to sell it, right? I mean, that's what they're doing with the new TV deals. So a really interesting way they decided to handle the Draymond Green situation.
It's the indefinitely for me, Whitey. The indefinite, the word
Exactly.
indefinitely.
Yeah, right.
I think it's kind of rubbed me a different way. It's like,
you wanted something more decisive?
Yeah, I think so. And again, I'm approaching this as a fan of Draymond, so I can only imagine what the detractors of Draymond are saying. I'm looking at the text line, I'm reading the YouTube. I mean, I can only imagine what we're going to see, over the next 24 to 48 hours from the sports world and fans and listeners and everybody else when it comes to Draymond, judge and jury. I truly believe that mentally they're going to assist him. As you said, the finality of all of this is going to be very interesting when it comes to the reprimanding of what happens with Draymond. And right now, for me, they're just the league is taking a step back and saying, look, we're going to let you receive some help first.
Right.
But after that, what happens? And that's what the indefinitely is kind of touching me the wrong way.
It sounds to me like, and I could certainly understand this, you have an issue with the way the league went from, we are going to punish you and we're going to decide how many games you miss. And then it's like, oh, you know what, buddy? Hey, let's see if we can't help you out.
True.
At a time when, again, when you're trying to sell your product.
And look, everything changes. Every single day, every hour, every minute.
Yeah.
The world changes.
That's a great idea. It's just like you said, why did it take anyone this long to recognize that this is the way it should be approached?
When everyone on the outside looking in could see it.
Yeah. And again, it could be that Draymond, if he didn't want any part of that, you can't very well force him. That could be.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I guess my counter to that is this. You can't force him to receive help, but it is your job, your duty. It is for you to operate this league. You were supposed to take action with Draymond a little more. And that's where I have the problem is Draymond is going to, and he should, I'm not letting him off the hook. I'm not letting Draymond off the hook here. Draymond should receive not only the help, the assistance, and everything for him to be a better person. He also should be reprimanded. Just because you made a mistake doesn't mean that you can run and hide. And I'm not saying he's doing this, but the league is kind of pushing that. It sounds from the wording and what we're hearing from the reports is like, look, we're going to help him, but I don't know if we're going to reprimand him. And what I'm saying is Draymond should be not only assisted, he should also be reprimanded. What happens, and I think that's the question when you say the league needs both of these, these situations, to play out a certain way to receive the positive feedback. I hope it does play out that way, but also you're setting a precedent for some other people to come out there and do some other crazy things. And, not saying that they don't need the help again. We're also saying, you're kind of letting these people off the hook a little bit when you say that.
Draymond Green at some point is going to return to Chase Center. He's going to get an ovation like you've never heard. And when that happens, there'll be a lot of Kings
you
fans
really think so?
Yes.
Wow.
And I just hope that when it happens, when he comes back, that he is a changed person, that what they're cheering is not just appearances. I hope what they're cheering when that happens is, wow, he went through something and he came out a better person. I hope that's
not going to happen, Whitey. I mean, look, one thing Jay does on this here, and I don't mean to say third person, I'm going to keep it strong in the buck. And that's why I'm saying I'm struggling with my words. Yeah, I hear you. I'm struggling with my words and my opinion very much right now because
you're trying to be sensitive to the issue of mental health.
Yes, because if they're saying he has recognized that he has some issues, then I'm riding with that. Everything else that I could care about on the court, reprimanding, being suspended, I care nothing about that. But it's tough because the NBA has the capability, Whitey, and I hear what you're saying when you say, look, for a person to receive help, they have to want to help first. I get that. But our society, and I don't mean to get deep here, the league has set other precedents that don't really matter.
Oh, I know. And that's like I said.
It doesn't matter.
It's possible that he was told, if you want to continue earning your paycheck, you are going to get some of this help.
Right.
You may not want it, but you're going to get it.
It's
You're
great
going to help us.
Yeah. And it almost makes me like, is this a PR storm?
Could be.
Like did the NBA communications put this together? You know, again, I don't know Draymond. All love to that man. His family, his friends, his brothers in arms of the Warriors. Please get assistance. Please get help. And I'm glad that if he's recognized that he is willing to receive help. But I'm sure having a hard time with the league and the way they're pushing this, man. The narrative and the fact of the precedent's been set. Y'all haven't always done this.
That's true.
Because let me tell you, I know Meta World Peace or Meta World Sam or whatever, whatever he wants to go by. My boy Ryan, right? Meta. He needed some assistance, and he's come on this very station when you were here and said I needed help. They didn't go that route. And now I get it, completely different. He went into fought fans and all that other stuff, but you can't tell me he didn't need some assistance. Like, he's told a story, he's told his upbringing, and I always say we're products of our environment. He need assistance too. Why all of a sudden now we just gonna start helping everybody when for the last 20 years, 30, 40 years, we weren't helping everybody else? The league, I don't know, man. I'm having a tough time with the way the NBA came with this.
When we come back, there's two teams on the court that are having a tough time. You got a team that's lost 20 straight, a team that's lost 17 straight. They're both playing now. We'll see how they are doing, and we'll also check in with Emil and Nate as they get ready for a return of the Empire. When we come right back, Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Mercedes-Benz of Stockton warmly suggests that you add a Mercedes to your holiday shopping list this year. With finance rates as low as 4.99% APR or 72 months on sedans, SUVs, and all-electric Mercedes cars, it's a great time to visit Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Just 45 minutes from Sacramento, right off I-5. Family-owned Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, where we make buying your Mercedes a special event you'll never forget. mbofstockton.com.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, just like our customer Jaron.
I'm the singer and guitarist in a band, and I use my Cricket phone for everything. It's basically like another band member.
Don't miss a single beat. Switch today and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer paid for testimonial. Must bring your number to Cricket on up to a $60 a month voice plan depending on device. Select models only while supplies last. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See store for details.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Holidays at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop. Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
A holiday message from Jackson Hewitt.
'Twas the yikes before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring.
Except Larry. See, the stockings weren't hung by the chimney with care, because Larry's wallet was empty, with no time to spare. So he went to Jackson Hewitt for a holiday loan, got money so fast, he rejoiced and went home. Avoid the yikes before Christmas. Go to Jackson Hewitt before it's too late. Get up to $1,000 fast, minus the wait.
Early refund advance offer to eligible clients. Application required. Finance charge applies. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopier.com.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone, for the life of your garden. The 49ers keep on winning this holiday season, sporting a 5-game win streak since the bye week. San Francisco took care of Seattle in Week 14, 28-16. Quarterback Brock Purdy had a career high in passing yards last Sunday, throwing for 368 yards. The Red and Gold are now the first team in the NFL to clinch a playoff spot this season, currently holding the #1 seed in the NFL.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, EB Stone has gathered invaluable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with EB Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. EB Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive both indoors and outdoors. Trust EB Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled with joy and flourishing greenery.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Everywhere you look. Yeah, we got a full house here. It's the point here. Did you guys used to watch Full House?
I like Full House. I like it. It's a good show.
Whatever happened to the Milkman?
What, man? Y'all was Full House fans?
I like Full House.
I watched it. It was a stay home from school sick kind of show.
It's a Northern California show.
My daughters loved it, so I ended up watching a lot. Danny Tanner and company.
Oh, obviously.
Who on that show ended up being the biggest star? Do you know?
Stamos?
Stamos, 100%.
Oh, my aunt went on a date with
I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's actually the dog. The dog became Air Bud.
How about the Olsen twins? Okay.
Air Bud wasn't even that good.
I know, but there was like 5 movies. There's Air Bud.
Wait, the dog became Air Bud?
Yeah, Comment.
I didn't know this.
On Full House became Air Bud.
Air Bud was a movie. It got me crying back in the day when I was a kid.
I feel like I've seen it, but I can't remember. Was Air Bud even good?
I don't know.
What was it? I mean, was he Steph Curry or was he? What was Air Bud? Yeah, what was Air Bud?
Shots.
But
it's just there's no way a dog's gonna be flame.
No, anything with an animal or a dog, man. If it's sad, it gets me going.
My aunt went on a date with Uncle Joey, and let's
no
it out.
Kidding.
Yeah. Let's just say
cut it out. That cat, right?
Yeah,
together.
Joey Gladstone.
Yeah, I guess he was kind of a maybe not the coolest guy.
Have you ever heard the song "You Ought to Know" by Alanis Morissette?
Yeah, that is not about him, is it? Really?
That's my understanding. I don't know.
Oh wow,
interesting. Yeah.
Anyway, Emil and Nader here, getting ready for the return of the Empire. I wanted real quick, guys, to check on how the Spurs and the Pistons are doing. The Pistons have lost 20 straight. They're playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're hosting Philly. The Spurs have lost 17 straight.
Oh, they're down by 15.
They're hosting the Lakers.
Spurs are down by 15.
Hold on.
The Spurs are down.
Pistons
40,
are down by 18.
40. Okay. Well, there you
The
go.
Spurs are down by
the streak
18.
continues.
Yeah.
What was your guess for Draymond's suspension?
I thought it'd be like 10.
Yeah.
And it's still maybe
indefinite. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's technically serving time now, but it could, towards that bigger suspension, if I'm not wrong. But I mean, if it's 20 on the dot, game 21 would be against the Kings, which would be a little funny.
It would take the Kings fans to know that.
Let's not.
It would take the Kings fans to know that.
Draymond suspended is like, let me check the schedule.
Yeah.
Because he just came back.
Somehow Kings Warriors, man.
The playing game, right?
Riles me up.
Yeah, not the play-in, the in-season tournament game. Yeah.
That guy's a little crazy, huh?
I don't know. Something it just seems to me that even going back to last week when he fouled Holmgren shooting the 3, and that was last weekend, his judgment seems like it's one thing for him to do. You kick somebody, we were talking earlier. that's a dirty play, right? When you
Yeah.
kick, but that's, basketball players are dirty sometimes. But then when you go after guys, you're going to choke them. Yeah, it just seems like, it's like Nurkic said. I think he needs some help.
Yes. Yeah, we were playing that all day today on the midday show. That
Yeah.
was a drop today.
That was a good one.
It was I think it was that brother needs some help or something.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong.
Mhm.
He's got some issues for sure.
Yeah.
I watched the video in slow-mo. You could see the trainer in the background, the Suns trainer. His reaction is very funny. I recommend watch that if you have some time. He's just like, watching Nurkic just get smashed in the face.
When I first saw it, and I was going back and forth, but I did see it when it happened. My first thought, and I was wrong, was Nurkic, he didn't hit that hard. He kind of flopped.
Yeah.
But he got popped pretty
He
good.
got it.
didn't
No.
he? Yeah.
he got it.
His right hook right there, man.
Yeah.
That was special.
Don't you think Draymond probably meant to turn, and then he's looking at the official, figures the official's looking at me, and I'll smack this guy in the shoulder or something. I'll give him a little something. It's like, whoop, I missed. Bam, right in the head.
No, he was aiming.
Really? Think he meant to hit him in the head?
He was aiming to hit him.
I don't think he was looking to touch him up on the facial features.
I think he was.
I don't know with
Really?
him anymore. He's just he's all over the place. He's kind of a crazy person. So you just can't predict people like that.
Yeah.
I think Antonio Brown said he's the Antonio Brown of the NBA.
Ooh, wow.
I think that was a quote today that I saw.
Uh-huh.
So that's not something you want to be.
No,
Well,
it's not.
Yeah. What you want to be is get ready for the return of the Empire.
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
You want to get ready. It takes a lot of prep.
It does.
Yeah.
A lot of prep.
I had a factoid that I got from Jay
Yeah.
that I told Emil, and he didn't even know it about the 49ers.
What's up?
That CMC has been the league's leading rusher from week 1 all the way through to this point, and that's very rare. It hasn't happened since Emmitt Smith, that after each week's games, he's been the leading rusher all the way through. Could be all the way through the season.
Yeah, there hasn't been any serious running back injuries this year besides Nick Chubb, right? Like starters.
Aaron Jones has been off and on as well too, but still.
Yeah, so that
Seattle.
makes it more impressive. Yes, what Kenneth Walker?
Would you say he's an elite running back though, Kenneth Walker? I wouldn't say. he
No,
is.
no,
Yeah,
No. Really good.
That is
really
a great
good seller.
stat.
Yeah.
it is.
He's the man. Do you think he gets offensive player of the year?
I think it's possible.
Sure.
Who else gets it? Tyreek?
Tyreek, yeah.
Tyreek
Tyreek's a little
Lamar.
banged up now.
Jackson.
I don't think Lamar gets it.
Okay. Well, what do they give offensive player of the year to just non-quarterback? Is that's kind of the rule, right?
It has.
Yeah, that's because MVP is the quarterback.
Yeah,
rule.
Right.
Exactly.
MVP is like the Cy Young award.
Right.
Cy Young goes to a
Yeah.
pitcher, and MVP goes to a quarterback.
If not for AP come back from a torn ACL, it still would be a quarterback for the last 25-ish years.
Yeah.
Since Marshall Faulk, I think was the last before AP.
Is that 99?
Yes.
98?
Well, there was a stretch.
We did
Thousand?
this.
Daniel
Somewhere in there.
Tomlinson
We
was
did
in
this
there.
last
Who
week,
was
I
it?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Marshall
yes.
Faulk was or Kurt Warner was the last MVP before Mahomes to win the Super Bowl.
That's what it was.
Yeah. We went back and went through because Mahomes last year won the Super Bowl with MVP. We went to check because we were talking about Brock Purdy being MVP, and I truly don't care if he wins MVP or not.
As long as he wins the ring,
Yeah,
right?
just
That's
Brock,
all
frankly.
I want. That's
Yeah.
all. I don't care about all this first and Pro Bowl, all that stuff.
I don't think he
need to-
cares.
He doesn't.
No,
He doesn't.
I don't think he does either. I
He
don't think
doesn't.
any of them do. They all have gotten all pros, all the guys that deserve it, right? All their superstars. It's Super Bowl time. That's what it is for these guys, and that's all I want to see.
Do you guys feel bad that you're the reason Kyle Draper's not here because you
I love it.
You badgered him?
I love it. I love it. Yeah. No.
You know how he plays the villain? He plays it up. I'm going to do that for him.
See, Draper, man, he didn't respond to my tweet actually when he went to the Niner game over the
big-timing
weekend
you.
too.
Oh,
He
really?
big timed me.
He's big timing
He
you.
big timed me. I called him out. He didn't respond.
Got the bird flu, Emil. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
He's got the
man.
bird flu.
Hey man, you know what? Niners are gonna go through that bird gauntlet. Just
Niners
kill them
are
all
in the
them
middle of
birds,
the
roast
bird
them
flu.
turkeys.
What are you guys kicking off with? Your top features?
Well, we have a guest today.
Oh,
We do.
We're just opening with a recap. We're going to talk about. I hate the Seahawks. So anytime
me too.
Niners beat the Seahawks, it's a great day for me.
Yes,
I like
yes.
fantastic day for me.
Oh.
Brock is 4-0
I'll
against
be
the
listening.
Seahawks.
I always listen.
Thanks, Whitey. Appreciate it. And then we got Tyler Drake on from AZ Sports.
Yes.
All right.
Cardinals
Coming on.
reporter
Yeah.
for AZ Sports. Tyler Drake has agreed to join. And talk a lot about why Nate thinks this is a trap game for the Niners, frankly.
Injuries.
Oh.
Yeah, there's some potential for
All
a
right.
trap game.
What, real fast, I know we have to break. When can I be a guest on the Turn of the Empire?
Next
I'm
week.
a Niner
Great.
guy.
Next week.
Show me
Next
some
week.
Niner love, baby.
Next week.
I'll just ask.
Well, not next week because we won't have a show next week, but after that it will.
Just want to talk
That's
a
why
little
they
Niners.
told you next week to have a show.
Great point.
Stick around. Return to the Empire with Emil and Nate is next on Sactown Sports.
Oh, this cold.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if